Hello, Internet. My name is PowellGuyGaming. You're listening to the Powered Up Podcast. How's it going? I'm joined by Sleepless Elite, Big Imperial and Shumo. Guys, say what's up.
Oh, yeah, good.
We already got the giggles, the laughs already. As you guys know, it's been a minute since we did the last podcast.
What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. Yeah, it's
Right.
been a minute. We've just been busy. There's 2 bits, but it's coming home.
It's
Right.
coming home.
Hey guys, leave it for later on. Leave
All
it
that
for
World
later
Cup
on.
nonsense.
Leave it for later on. We're going to be talking about it later on. So, as you guys know, the format for our podcast is we talk about gaming and entertainment topics. For the gaming side, which we talk about first, we've got female lead roles in video games. Talking more about Fortnite, everybody's favorite game. Talking about Warframe, which is coming to the Switch. We're also talking about who is it? It's not developers. Who's? Is it Devolver?
Devolver Digital.
Devolver. That's a typo on my end. My bad. Devolver's bringing several games to the Switch. I'm gonna leave Sleep to handle that one. I'm also gonna talk about Microsoft's lack of sales within Japan. I'm also gonna talk about Sony's crossplay issues. I know that's getting everybody peeved. For the entertainment, our boy Big Nasty, he's got a new show, Raptor Report. I actually went through and actually watched it on the 888 Sport YouTube channel. I watched the 7 episodes, I watched about 3. We're also going to talk about Terry Crews and his sexual assault case. He's exposing Hollywood for their antics. Got TanaCon, a YouTuber. She hosted her own little VidCon. We'll talk about it later on. Drake posted a new Link Up TV song, which is trending #1 on YouTube. And obviously, your boy is coming home to talk about the World Cup because it's kind of impossible not to talk about this. So, right, let's start off with the female lead roles in video games. And recently, E3 was obviously just went by, and there was a few games that were getting females as lead roles, or at least a lot of female love and a lot of female attention. I saw Battlefield 5 was showcasing quite a bit to do with females. I think even their cover, their game cover, I think that's a female. Gears of War 5, that's got a lead character as a female. And basically, I just want to kind of say, like, are female lead roles, are they that important? Like, are they really are they that important, or are they just being used as a selling point to attract a further audience? I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Sleep. I'm gonna let you go first on this one, man.
So I was going to speak anyway.
Right. Anyway, the question is: do you believe females having lead roles in video games are that important?
I think it is important, and it's not only the fact of females. I think it's people, because obviously females is the main topic that we're talking about, but it should be females of also different races too, because everybody likes to be represented in their favorite things, So we've got black actors, brown actors, Asian actors. Everybody likes to be represented when they can be represented. So for me, having a woman is not an issue. Like, with even some of the games where you don't have to be a woman, like where you get to make your own character, like things like Skyrim, Monster Hunter, yes, GTA, all of this stuff. Like, okay, minus GTA, I've got minus GTA and the Division. Monster Hunter, I have a female character, and it's not a case of anything like weird or anything. It's just whatever. For me, I just want to be a female character.
Right, and you said you make your characters female characters. Has that been happening? Is that a trend for you? So has that been happening from But
it happens every now and again. It just depends on what mood I'm in, really. Like if I want to see myself in the game, then obviously I'll make a dude.
Right.
But if it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, you know what? Like I just did it with something else. I just did it with X game. I'm going to do it differently with this game. It's not anything of I go out to do it. If it happens, it happens.
Okay. Fair enough. Big, what about you? What do you think?
I'm on the same page as Sleep. Like, I feel like it's good to have diversity in games. Obviously, when you're selling a game, you don't know who's picking up your title. So the person who's probably going to be picking up the title might want to be representing themselves within that game. So having females as lead roles is a definitely good idea. Like, especially if it makes sense as well. Like, don't just do it just to say, okay, we're just gonna sell this to this certain market. If you're gonna do it properly. Like, make sure that it's not cheapened. Like, if the same energy that you're gonna use for a male cast, use it for a female cast.
See, this is the thing as well. I'll jump onto your opinion as well, Schumann, in a second. This is the thing as well. It's like character customization. You know, you can be a male or female. That's pretty cool. You know, whatever. That's great. But like, people love the idea of a character which you can't customize, which you can't which you can't create yourself. Sorry, being that lead character. You know, got a voice actor. It's the main focus. It's like a badass woman, like a Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, like a badass woman, you know, exploring the world or whatever, as a woman, you know, as a female. Anyway, back to the point, Shumo. What do you think? Do you think it's does it matter that much to you?
I'll say yes and no, and my no isn't really a direct response to your question, but I'm gonna say yes, basically for all the reasons that everybody's already said. It's good to include all different types of people and stuff like that. Create your characters good. I remember, like, even back when you were first able to like choose like a female character, back in like I think it was like Pokemon Crystal or something like that. Like, yeah, I chose to be a girl just for the hell of it or whatever, like, because it's different. Like, but I've done that over the years, just sporadically. Just because I wanted to or whatever. But yeah, what you were saying about characters that you can't customize, I think it speaks to, like, obviously people want like well-written and developed female characters that are not like hypersexualized. And it's good, and it does work really effectively. Like, look at Naughty Dog. Like, when you look at like the Uncharted games, you've got like Nadine and Chloe and Elena and stuff like that. Their characters are written out really well. Like, Bayonetta is heavily sexualized, but it has agency to it. It's part of a like badassery kind of thing. Even with like the new Tomb Raider games, like she's written really well, and she's a killing machine. Like, she just as much as any other man. Like, she kills like 200 guys like for your whole playthrough or whatever.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it is important. To the point where I'll say no. Usually the argument for more females in games is because people want more representation, which is or people want to relate more, should I say? To which I say, can anyone relate to these characters really? Like, most of these characters, like, I don't play a game because they're a guy.
No, but I think it's just like they would rather see themselves in that situation, not.
Yeah, because obviously, because it was one of the things I'll go latching onto your point, Big. It's the case of, obviously, I think it's fairly safe to say, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's fairly safe to say that now there are definitely a lot. I'm not saying there's a lot in general, but I do think that more girls are participating in games. That's why I believe that some of the motives behind having male lead characters is just because their fan base is majoritively male. Like, for instance, like Call of Duty. Like, look at all of them. You're always like, apart from like some of the new ones and the remaster ones where you can play as a girl, as a different character online, but the stories themselves, it's always been a male leader. So it's one of those things where, like, it's just catering to the market. But now obviously it's going to be more and more important because because it's becoming more prominent that girls are playing games.
Right.
I think that's a safe thing to say.
I get that, yeah, but on the other hand, I've never sat there and been like, like, I am a Russian drug dealer gangster.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I identify with.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Man's not Nico Bellic, innit? Like, you get barely any Asian people in games as like lead roles or whatever. It doesn't bother me, like, because that's not what I play games for. Like,
yeah,
if I'm gonna play a character, I want to play the character. If I'm gonna play a role-playing game, then sure, give me the option to make my own guy or whatever. I'll make him look goofier or make him look like me or whatever.
Yeah, it's sort of like Mass Effect, where it can still tell the story exactly how it needs to be told, with what you want to be represented as, or what you would just like to play. Not even something as you just represent, like, because obviously it's, you know, for me, I don't play a game as a woman and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a woman, got a puss, got titties. Like, it's not like that. I just feel like I just feel like playing a woman, playing as a chick. No, there's no logical reason behind it other than the fact of I want to, and that I don't think is a problem. I think it's a fairly okay thing to do if that's what I want to do. Same thing with a chick. Like, a chick can play as a dude. Like, I don't think people will be like, I'm not happy with this. Like you were saying, it's the fact that you're supposed to be into that character, and if that character just happens to be written as a guy, and if it's still well written, it shouldn't be a case of it should be looked down upon because it's a guy. Like, for instance, I'm trying to think of a. I don't know, like the Gears of War franchise, basically, apart from number 5, always played as, you know, either, most of the time you're playing as Marcus Phoenix. It's not a case of, it's just the fact of the story they just wrote it that way. I don't think it's a case of they were like, we're not making it a girl. Like, well, I don't think that's what went down in the meeting.
Well, like, for me, like, it doesn't really matter that much to me, mainly because, very similar to Shumo's point, I just play the game because I want to get invested into the world, right? And I know the character is a good part of the world. And a lot of the time with games, they synchronize well with the world, right? So it is important for your character. My thing is, growing up, I played PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360 onto the PS4 mainly now, right? That's kind of my, PC, whatever. But the games I played, story mode games, whatever, I never really was like, oh, I'm playing a lot of dudes. Like,
it wasn't something that ever registered.
Yeah, or it wasn't, or there was never a moment where I'm like, oh, that woman over there is, she's able to, or she's a badass killer, and she's a woman, and she's a badass killer. Like, that's never really clocked really into my mind. It's just been like, that person over there is awesome. Whether it's a man, or if it's a male or female, like, it doesn't really, but like, it doesn't really, never really kind of made me think about it. Like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, maybe there should be more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Like, I think this is one of the things where this new mindset that society seems to have of like super duper ultra inclusion. Like, I don't think it's, and what we were saying about before, I was going to say, we don't want people to get offended when you say you don't care like that. It's just the fact of you don't think of it as an issue, and we're not saying it's the fact of, we're not trying to say that it's like we're happy that you're not being represented the way you want. It's just the fact of, for us, regardless of whether we play a dude or a chick, for us, it doesn't matter. Like, I think we're all pretty happy to play a game because the game is good, not whether the main character has a dick or not.
Yeah, there are more pressing issues than if a character.
Yeah, like gameplay or how the game looks or the story. The things that actually really make the game.
Yeah, sure. You go, man.
The thing that concerns me is just like when it becomes inclusion for inclusion's sake.
Yeah.
Like, fine, add as many female characters as you want, whatever, but just make them good characters. Like, make them nuanced, make them.
I was saying before,
This is what there's something like this in TV shows that I've been noticing a lot lately, and it's starting to really piss me off.
Hey, Ghostbusters, that film, they remade Ghostbusters, right? I was angry, okay? I'm not even a big Ghostbusters fan.
Oh my god.
Right? I'm not even
misogyny.
Right. Like, hear me out. I'm not even a big Ghostbusters fan. Right? Whatever. Right? But I watched...
Who you gonna call? PGG.
I watched the remake of it, and to me, it just wasn't any better, really. Like, to me, there was no need for them to remake it. They didn't do a good job. You know, when they remake something, you expect it to be better than the first time, or expect it to re-highlight, or, get that same feeling of the first time you watched the
you want it to be, like, just as good.
Yeah, the original, right? I didn't find...
But with that film in particular, I don't think it would have that feeling that you have of negativity towards it would have changed if it was 4 guys.
I
just think it was poor writing. But the point I was gonna go on to about the TV shows is that I was seeing a lot of like you'd have a lot of like gay people in TV shows and stuff, like, but there is a lot of these shows where it's just like they're just throwing it in there. I'm fine with it, like if it makes sense for the story. So like if have you seen Ozark? Has
Yes.
everyone
Yeah.
seen Ozark?
Don't know.
So the FBI guy in that is gay,
Yeah.
and he sleeps with one of the rednecks or whatever to get closer undercover. Basically,
Trash.
it makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
Like he's a gay guy, he can use his sexuality to
Homo charms.
help him in his investigation or whatever.
Right.
Whereas in a lot of other these TV shows and stuff like that, I'm seeing
Man's just gay
he's
for no
just
reason.
gay, just to tick a box, basically.
Right. Yeah, no, I get you on that, and that's what I don't want to happen in games. Like this is not female characters, but I play a lot of 2K, NBA 2K, right? 2K16 came out, and it had a lot of involvement with story, right? And like a lot of my friends, they were kind of not angry, they were just kind of like frustrated because your family in the game is black. Right, so even if you make a white character, your family is still black. You make an Asian character, well,
Wait, what?
Right, your family is still black, right? So they were kind of like
Adoption.
they were kind of like they could at least just made my parents like the same skin color, or whatever, right? And I said to him,
bruv, let them feel the power of oppression, bruv.
And I at first I was with them, and I still am with them. I was like, yeah, because. You look, from a story standpoint, it just looks odd. Like it just looks. Yeah. It looks out of place. It looks kind of
lazy.
Hazy. No disrespect meant by that. It's just this looks a little bit kind of weird, right? But then at the same time, I started to think to myself, I was like, I'm surprised that's really caught your attention. Like when you play games where you make a black character, whatever, and the people around you are all white. Like that to me doesn't like. I never really thought to myself like, oh man, I wish there was more black people in this game. Like I never really thought about that. But anyway, so back to the point. Back to the female roles thing. It's like so. I know for us, we don't really. It won't make a game be sold better or make a game be sold worse because there's a female character in it or it's the main character, right? As long as the story is good. Yeah, for us, right? As long as the story is great and the gameplay is great, that's the main damn thing, right? If the game's good, the game's good. Male or female, doesn't matter, right? But do you think somewhere down the line that companies will just make it like, oh yeah, you can play a female character. It's this badass female character. That's why you should buy the game. Do you think they'll ever use it as a selling point? Or do you think they have used it as a selling point so far?
I don't think they're going to use it in the selling point in the way that you're sort of describing it. I think they'll use it as a selling point in the sense of it could push some game, like people who want to get into games with it, but feel like it's only a boyish thing to do. But then they see a female role and be like, oh, you know what, actually, this looks kind of interesting. And they might end up picking up whatever it is, whether it's an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever in it. Yeah. Like, I see it as being as a tactic like that to sort of get their foot into gaming.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like, so I do think it is used as a selling tactic, but more covertly. Because like at a base level, especially like younger girls and stuff will play a female character because they are female.
Because it's always been a very male-dominated thing, like playing games.
No, I don't think that's even the case, though. I think it's just because they're, back to the same customization point we talked about earlier. I think it's just like what's closer to you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that. But think about like adverts for the things you see for Skyrim. Even in Skyrim, you can make a chick. Yeah. But do they ever show off a chick like that? Not really. In the advertising, like we've all seen the Skyrim advert, I believe. Like, Yeah. So like that's what I'm getting at. It's the fact of even in these multi-gender race games, they will still show we're not going to get into race, but we can go into gender. We can say that it's always a guy. For that type of game, like because that's what they showcase. So the people are like, oh, I can actually. So a girl might end up picking up and be like, oh, stuff, I can actually make a chick.
So here's a new point then. Now you said that. Here's a new point then. Do you believe that's because the gaming industry is dominated by males? Do you think that's the case? So, like, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's been dominated by men.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
No, no, no. It's not a case of whether it is or isn't. It's a case of he's asking whether because we understand that it already is. He's asking because of that. Is that why everybody's making dudes?
So let me give you an example, right?
Go on.
I don't believe that because you're not a woman, you can't create a character for a woman. I don't think that's correct. I think that's incorrect if anyone wants to ever say that. But my point is, my thing is, for example, it's better if you have to make a female character. Wouldn't it be better to have some female input, right? If you're not a female. So my thing is because there's so many, because obviously the game development industry, whatever, games industry, whatever, is dominated by so many men. Do they just take a more, not safer route, but because they know what it is to be a man, what it is to be a guy, what it is to be a whatever, they think they just make those characters based on that.
I don't think that's an option, so to speak. I think it's usually just what they just might, these companies might have already just done stuff like that. So for them, it would just make sense. I don't think it's a case of something where it's that deeply thought into, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's just something that they just do, and that's it. I don't think it's a case of they've gone, oh, we're not going to put women into it because whatever. Like, I don't think the games industry thinks like that. I think, to be fair, they probably might want to do more women, but it might be a case of the people might find it weird. And I was going to say, this whole issue seems to be something fairly new, and I think it's something that's been brought about when people who don't play games are just like, oh, why is it always a dude this? Like, they're creating problems that originally weren't there. But I'm not sure if we want to get into that because it can get very...
The thing is that I just believe it's because games now is so widely popular. Like
yeah.
Games now, they're not like what you would consider to be before. Oh, go to an arcade and play this 8-bit game or whatever. Now it's like a film. Now it's like, real actors and whatever getting involved in it. So now it's
but they make more money than any other entertainment platform.
Yeah. Would you believe that? Gaming?
Bang, bang.
But it's been like that for like a long time.
Yeah, I think they make more than music and film combined.
And books. But yeah, it was just like there's always been this stigma with it. And it's very, very slowly starting to wear away to the point where everyone's like, oh, like gaming is actually a real thing or whatever. Yeah. So like even like God of War, he thought the script. So the guy who plays Kratos is he was an actor on Stargate. He was like the big black dude with the weird gold thing in the middle of his head. And when he first got the script, he thought it was a movie. He didn't know it was a game until they started like production for it and like filming him in the mocap and stuff like that. He thought it was a film because of the writing, the way it was written, and everything like that. And he was even saying like, had he known it was a game, he may have looked at it differently.
Wow.
So
big up God of War, though, man. Big up God of War.
Did you hear that? That was a light dusting of salt.
Oh man. that sodium chloride is strength.
Or you powered up podcast listeners. Big has unfortunately lost his save.
Fuck that bitch!
Unfortunately lost his save on God of War and now has to start again.
I think lost is a very loose word.
Lost.
I'm not trying to expose nobody. I'm not trying to say any names. Alright.
Say her name, cuz.
It's kind of funny how we're talking about female lead roles.
Yeah, we're talking about female lead roles, and it's a female that's just like the biggest enemy of progress.
Trust me.
Alright, guys. Does anyone want to add anything else to the female lead roles before we move on to the next topic?
I think the only reason why this question has even come about is because of people who don't play games, who are very overly sensitive about things that they don't need to be overly sensitive about. They're like, oh, whatever. This is the one thing that I feel bad so much about the gaming industry as a whole. It gets critiqued by people who don't play games. If you don't play games, why do you care?
No, because I think you have part of that correct, but I think if you don't have to necessarily play a game anymore to be involved. Your kids might play games, or you might know friends that play games, right? And I think you're still getting that involvement. So
yeah, that's true. But nowhere near like let me put you this way. Let's just say, for instance, I don't do what I do at uni. Let's say, for instance, I do law, but I know you, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's say I have an opinion on any game.
By the way, Sleep does game development. By the way,
bang bang.
Yeah.
Mandem coming out summer 2018. It's probably coming in like a month or so.
Hey, can I produce?
Fam, don't worry. There'll be demos for all subscribers, fam. I'll have a link somewhere to where people can download it. And episode 1 is coming this summer. Hopefully, episode 2 might come around Christmas.
Yeah, nice plug. But back to your point.
Done there.
Back to your point.
Search Mandem on the Play Store. Yeah. So it's like if I had never played games and I wasn't involved in gaming in a first-hand sense, because that's the thing. We all have first-hand experience with gaming, which is why everything that we say has more validity than any parent. Just because your kid plays games doesn't mean you know anything about it. Like you could just be like, oh, it's the fact that they're like, oh yeah, pause your game. I can't online. I don't know what that means. Like dead. Don't come at me with that nonsense. Like if you don't play games or whatever, I feel as though your opinion is automatically so infinitesimal because you don't understand.
Oh, big words. That's an infinitesimal.
You know what, man? Don't ever ask me to spell that word. That's not happening. Does anyone else want to add anything before?
Wow.
INFINDEMAL.
I understand what you're saying about validity of people that aren't in it, but I don't think you can just write them off.
No, I'm not saying completely write them off, but you can definitely. I'm not saying completely write them off. But
the people that are critiquing it are seeing, looking at it at a very like top shelf level kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're just like seeing the headlines and.
That's what they're going on. But that's the thing. Like, it's
oh, look, see, this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, no, it's...
Yeah,
just...
like, hence why when we were talking about, before we even started the podcast, about other stuff, that's why I was talking to somebody who has more experience in that community that we were talking about. We won't get into it because just no. But yeah, like that's why I was talking to somebody who has first-hand experience with that community, so then I can run my ideas through them and see where the holes in my thing are. None of them are trying to do that. They're usually making big statements about this is the cause of this is the cause of this, and it's just like no, because there's other things in line. Like really quickly, really quick tangent. So a kid played Doki Doki Literature Club, and
wait, explain what Doki Doki Literature Club is in case.
Okay, so Doki Doki Literature Club is one of those Japanese dating simulator games where you are usually picked in with a bunch of 4 other girls, and you basically chat to them.
Okay.
But it's got a bit of a psychological twist to it because it's actually more of a horror, and it has warnings before you buy the game, during buying the game, and before you even start playing the game.
Okay, go back to your point.
So this kid played the game and ended up killing himself.
Okay.
And it's the case of the people are saying it's the game's fault. Now, like he said, like we were talking about before, the headline can say what it wants to say. This game was the cause of it, but it may be because of but could it not just be the fact that the parents weren't taking more due care? And it feels like gaming gets used as a scapegoat for other people's incompetencies.
Oh yeah, but that's like anything in general. Like even in music gets used as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Like films get escape, games get. Like when people try to sue GTA for it being too violent, it's like you are the one who bought your kid a fucking 18 rated plus game.
Yeah,
and then
you know what I mean. Like it's one of those things where if you're not going to monitor anything, there are things that you need to understand. And let's be honest, it's 2018. I don't think there's anybody who would have young children.
Okay,
would understand. Like my parents back when the PS1 came out. All of my games for were like 3 and whatever the rating system was back then.
Peggy 3.
Yeah, I don't think it was Peggy back then. It was something else.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was Peggy.
No, it wasn't.
Shout out to Peggy.
It was some grating, but regardless, it might have been really old Peggy. Anyway, they made sure that I had games within my age thingy because obviously there are things that are whatever. Like this game is most likely. I'm not even sure. I can check my Steam thing now, but I'm not gonna start up Steam. But it's like it might be like an 18. The kid was like 13 or 14 who killed himself, and he must have. And as far as I know, he had. I'm not sure if he had a history of stuff before, but I don't think you can play a game and go,
Regardless, this is what I'm saying. Regardless, if you think one single thing by itself triggers a suicide, you're just dumb.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah,
There's
but
no two ways about that.
You don't want to take the blame for it. That's why they need to have something to pin on.
To blame.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it covers. They use gaming as a scapegoat to cover up their own incompetencies.
Right. So on that point, right. So how does gaming deal with this issue? Because
What do you mean the game?
You can't really deal with it because at the same time, like you're at any point when you make a game, there's always going to be the rule of 10. So 3 people might like it, 3 people won't like it, and there'll be 4 people on the fence. And those 4 people on the fence will determine whether.
Right, Charlemagne.
Hey.
Fam, he is my spiritual dad, fam.
Mantra.
No, but
No, yeah, that's credence.
Those people who are on the fence are gonna be more susceptible to hearing bad news about something than good news. So, like, they can't really do, because as long as there's gonna be people who are gonna say, "Oh, gaming is this and gaming is that." Games can just be game. The game industry should only just focus on just producing the games and just having their fan base just saying.
Let me give you a scenario then. Let me give you a scenario. I have a friend, right? I'm not gonna say his name, but my boy,
Out
shout out to
Liam.
No,
Out him.
It's not Liam. It's not Liam.
Gary.
Oh wow.
No, let's go with Gary.
Okay, right. So, so he was saying that he believes violent games bring on violent tendencies. Now, whether it does or not, that doesn't matter. I was saying to him, as the gaming community, or as gaming community means developers, people who play games, whatever, there is something that we could possibly do to cover our backs. And they already started doing this already. And what I believe this is like the monitoring, parental controls. These ideas, I think on Nintendo Switch you can have like a notification pop up tell you have X amount of time left to play your game, and then it like stops your kids from playing and stuff like that. And there are technologies out there that and game developers can do stuff to cover their backs. Yes, it's annoying when you're playing the Nintendo Wii and it comes up like, you should take a break. Like, no, bitch! I'll take a break when I want to take a break. Leave me alone.
No, well, I mean, when it comes to a Wii, you should probably take a break, and during that break, go sell your Wii and buy a real console.
Hey, don't be out and Anyway, so
one of the best-selling consoles of all time. Just saying.
The hatred.
The best selling, but everybody's forgotten about it, except for Just Dance. Oh my! You know what? We're not even going to get into it. Let's carry on.
But no, yeah. So to carry on with what you're saying about the so go on, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, so my thing is, I think game developers, even community managers for certain games, they can spread the awareness that a game might be, offensive to some people. This is and the third and whatnot.
I want to stop you there.
Go for it.
Because they do in very, very big red box when it says 18 plus, or orange 16 plus. They put warnings on these games.
Yeah, but
for me, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. There should the game community, which is basically people games whatever, could put more out. But when they've done, let's be honest, without them creating a giant banner across something, like across the game, they're saying like, hey, like if they could bring everything that's on the back round to the front instead. So like saying, oh, drug use, blah, blah, blah. On the front, people might take more notice of it. But this has been a thing that they've always done. Everything in a game is on the back.
So do you
for me, the gaming community has done its job. If people don't want to listen and deal with the consequences, for me personally.
So you feel like the rating system is enough and that's it. So you feel like
the rating system doesn't matter really.
Yeah, because the thing is,
you can still pick up the game. Like it's on the discretion of how the game gets picked up.
Because this is what I'm getting at. Because I don't think there's any. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say if the child wants to pick up the game, but via other means, it's like
via a parent.
How okay, you see, okay, this is going to be a bit of a tangent, but you see, okay, when you instant porn, yeah, It always tell you before you
Pardon?
website.
What?
You must say
Wait, what?
internet porn. Internet porn. You must be 18 or up.
Oh,
to be on the
internet.
website.
Man, I thought you said Insta for starters, and then I thought you said incest, and I was like, where is this going?
Dude,
Wow.
I thought you said insect. That's what
I thought you said
I also thought.
I thought you said insert. I was like, what the?
What?
What
No,
the?
you don't have lost. You don't have lost it.
Nah, bruv. The only thing that's lost is your ability to speak the English language clearly and concisely, bruv.
Well, y'all can understand me now. So.
Listen, we just got some quadruple entendre from you. Don't ask me how.
Right, continue your point about
I'll say is that internet porn. Yeah. Not incest porn, not insect or insert.
Insert.
You're saying two syllables. Are you saying internet?
Internet, yes, internet.
It's 3 syllables, bro.
That's an internet.
Right,
I'll
go on.
I've been saying internet.
Continue.
Okay. Let's just say porn on Chrome in it, because then we don't.
Ain't nobody using Edge.
Incognito mode.
Ain't no one just big.
Because it's not Google.
Yeah, so
Right,
they have the whole rating system on there. It even tells you, gives you a prompt. Before you enter this website, you must be over the ages of 18. Are you sure you're 18? Obviously,
Are you sure?
obviously, if you're not 18 or whatever, you're still gonna click it. Like, it's a given.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's where shops come in, because shops won't sell a game to somebody who they think is under the age. Now, when you then take that into account, that's what the community is doing, because the community goes to basically from shops backwards. So and when I say backwards, I mean like, because obviously it's from the shop it then goes forward. I'm saying from the shop it goes forward to the customer. After the game's been bought, the games industry is not responsible, because at every stop somebody picks up the game, they can see in the corner of the thing 12 or whatever it is, they can see the age rating, and everybody knows that on the back of a game it says exactly what is in the game, so you know exactly what you're going to be exposed to.
I get your point.
Yes.
So for me, the industry or the community, more to speak, has done all it can do, apart from what actually monitoring who's actually playing the game on the console through whatever, and then shutting the console down when it realizes that it's a 5-year-old playing GTA or some type of nonsense like that. Like, for me, that it's dumb that anybody comes to gaming or whatever, because we try and stop you. If you decide to buy the game for your kid and your kid deads themselves off for it, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not trying to be funny. It's your fault. It's your fault, bruv. Like, what more can I say?
All right.
Huh?
Whatever.
Right, what?
All right.
Wait,
Hold on,
pitch it.
you man are bare weird.
What?
Hello?
Hold on. I need to leave the call and jump back in. Just give me a second, just because your guys' connection is weird.
Okay.
Wait, our connection.
Oh no, you're good. Did you have it where it was like?
That was just you.
That was just you.
Oh man.
That's
Oh
like
man.
beatboxing.
You guys are
Trying to
gonna.
blame our connection, bitch.
The rest of you, Sam's connection just went down. Jordan can't apparently.
Wait.
And do something else.
Wait. Are you still in the call? No.
Oh yeah, I'm here. You can hear me, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Fair enough. Right. Shumo.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is, yeah, I agree with Sleep for the most part. But, we have the ratings for a reason. Like, the ESRB board, or whatever it is, and in this country and in Europe or whatever, exists for a reason. And it's, it's lawful, it's been proposed to government, all of that. So, this is what it is. You can't go into a shop and be under 18 and buy an 18 rated game.
Yeah.
It's legally not allowed. Just like you can't go and buy cigarettes, just like you can't go and buy alcohol. Like, it's the same thing.
But it's still get done.
And then you take into account digital sales or whatever. Okay, yeah, that's a bit more difficult. But as a parent, if you're more on top of your child's consumption, these consoles have a lot of comprehensive parental controls. Like PlayStation has master and sub accounts. Nintendo has, like you were saying, a lot of comprehensive stuff to do with the phone, where you can limit playtime.
But the thing is,
only allow them to access certain games, stuff like that.
Sorry to interrupt you, Shima, but most parents wouldn't even know about those.
I think that's my thing.
But yes, they would, because
that's bull.
when you start a console for the first time, it's part of the setup process. Just like you start up your iPhone, it's part of the setup process. Like, there's not really an excuse other than you as a parent being lazy and not paying attention to your kid's thing. I'll give you an example. But so one thing to parents' credit or whatever, there is a lot to monitor with your child because there's so much input nowadays with everything. So I'll give you an example. That the rapper that died, XXX Tentacion, his video was everywhere on the internet. I was talking to my sister about it. My sister's 15 years old. She said to me, "It's like, oh, did you see the rapper that?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did you see the video?" I was like, "Did you see the video?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah." It's like, "Why?" It's like, because it was on Snapchat. Like these things, they don't take into account their audiences like that. Things like that, it's harder to keep on top of. Gaming specifically has done a very good job, and I feel like they've done everything that they can to ensure that we've given you all the tools and all the information to tell you this is what this game is, this is what you can do on our consoles, and this is how we let you control it.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, it's so easy to control what you see when it comes to gaming. It's so easy. Like you were saying, Snapchat. It just came up on Snapchat, like with X, because I think we've all seen the video, and it's like, and it in all of its uncensored madness, and it's just
So I didn't even explain. The video is him obviously dead in his car because he's just been shot. So you're seeing his lifeless body in his car for whatever reason, where people wanted to whip out their phones and start recording it. I don't know, but that's a different conversation.
But that's what this is what I was getting at. This is why I say once the game has been handed over, because if proper setup precautions aren't taken, you cannot come back and try and clap back at the game at the company who made the game, because there's warnings everywhere. Like I was saying, Doki Doki, bare warnings across the whole thing. And like I was saying, if you allow your kid to get this game who's clearly not in the right mental frame for it or the right age for it, and they play the game and it happens to be something that semi contributes to it, sure, you can say it contributed to it, but can you blame the people who made the game? No, because you should have been monitoring what your kid was playing. It's your fault.
Yeah, but not a lot of parents monitor, especially.
That's their fault.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but for me, that's not an excuse.
No, but it's not. I want to continue talking about this forever, because there's plenty of things I can give examples to. I agree with both of your points. I'm talking about. I'm gonna close it off by saying the reality of the situation is what Big is saying. Parents don't. That's it. That's facts. That's it. That's hands down. They don't.
Go on. Sorry.
So you have plenty of tools and whatnot, but the reality of the sad reality of it is they don't. Like that's pretty much it. Like that's
saying that they don't have the right tools, or the fact they're not using.
They don't use the tools.
Right. Yeah, but your original question was, what can gaming do to correct this?
Yeah.
Gaming doesn't have to do anything, in my opinion, because they've done everything they can. The accountability is on equal part with the audience.
Right.
And the people who are allowing it to fall into their kids' hands. Like I was saying, just because it's like how can you get in? Let's say you get into a car accident, real bad one. You lick yourself out the windscreen because you weren't wearing your seatbelt. That's like trying to then blame the car company for their windscreen not saving you. Like, it's not supposed to work like that. You're supposed to buckle yourself in.
Paul Walker, for example, his estate is trying to, or his daughter or whatever, it was trying to sue Porsche or whatever the maker of the car was, for not being properly safety regulated or whatever, but it wasn't designed to go that speed. That's why it wasn't.
When your dad's trying to whip it like a rental firm.
Yeah. Another example, it's like blaming McDonald's because you're fat. Like, it just doesn't, make sense.
But yeah,
there's accountability.
Yeah, like you don't have to buy the food, and even if you're going to, it's called monitor what you eat. Like don't be a fucking chunky slob, bruv. Like watch what you eat or get the salad.
Don't get the salad.
Don't get the salad. All right.
Get the McVeggie.
Get the salad.
Don't get the salad.
Don't get the salad. I swear there's like more calories in that than a Mac.
Dude,
You are lying. Oh my
I've
days.
worked there.
Ridiculous.
I've worked there. I can say don't get the salad. All right, don't get the salad.
Mad.
What? Wait, are you
Mad.
confirming this?
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I've worked.
I swear to God, Peach, if you get us sued, we have to go off the air.
I've worked there. I'm not saying.
Hey, McDonald's, you want to sponsor us? Hey,
Aye.
Just don't get the salad. It's not worth it. That's all.
McDonald's workout plan.
Go to Tesco, okay, or what's it, Walmart in America, wherever.
Buy a lettuce and buy
Right?
it.
Get some iceberg lettuce, some chopped tomatoes, alright, and just handle your business.
Just bite them. Just bite the tomato on one side, bite the lettuce on the other side.
Some
That
salad.
ain't the deadest sellers, bro. I had to get iceberg lettuce and tomatoes and chop them up.
Oh, right? A few carrot sticks.
hey,
Get some in there.
the struggle salad, fam.
Trust me.
Hey, oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what?
You know, so you see how much money people spend on McDonald's. Do you know how many fucking lentils I could buy?
All I'm saying is it's just not worth it. Anyway, right. So
But yeah, there we go. If you buy a game and your kid kills himself for it, it's your fault as a parent.
No, that's not what we're co-signing. That's what Sleepless Elite is.
You know what I mean?
What we're saying is
calmly, because that's what it is.
take some accountability and be consumer
though?
aware, consumer
Yes.
conscious.
Yes.
That's the word.
But that's not the okay. So you're telling me.
Oh my
I just want
days.
to make sure we're on the same page. So you're telling me. So okay. So boom. You buy a game. Let's say the next GTA.
Yeah.
It's solely it's coming out. It obviously says in big red 18 rating. Yeah. And so little fucking Timmy or whatever decides to.
Why does Tim have to be lit for little?
No,
Oh, big
when you
shut
say
up, man.
Timmy, whenever you say Timmy, it's a little kid. You know it. Shout.
Yeah. So man like Timmy, he gets his mom. He's like, Mom, I want to get GTA, and she's like, No, Timmy, you're not old enough.
Why does Timmy sound like that though?
I don't know. And so he forces his mom to end up buying him the game, yeah. And so he buys the game, and then for some reason, his dad is a gun enthusiast. He gets a gun, and then he's messing around with the gun or whatever, like whatever the next character was. I don't know, flipping Jeff, bruv. Yeah.
Okay, right.
And so he
Jeff.
decides to start shooting off in the streets, and then he shoots himself because he's seen it in the video game, right?
Okay.
For me, the mum should. The origin of the problem is the mum buying the game.
So are you saying that the origin of the problem is the mum buying the game? So what if Timmy goes and gets a gun from somebody else and does the same thing? Is the origin?
Without playing the game?
Yeah.
Well, if it's not without playing the game, then there's just something wrong with Timmy.
Wait, no, you just contradicted yourself.
Have I? Because my instance is he's one of them. He bought the game, and one of them he didn't buy the game.
No, but in your thing is like, if he gets the gun anyway without playing the game, you're saying that the game theoretically should be to blame for the violence.
No,
anyway.
I said if he doesn't get the game and he still picks up a gun and somehow is messing around with it and then shoots himself, Timmy's a bit of an idiot. Timmy shouldn't be playing with guns. Why have they got guns near the child?
But then why does that make a difference if he buys the game?
No, I'm saying it's the fact of I'm getting the game. I'm saying the game isn't at fault.
No, your scenarios are making the
Your
game.
scenario did not convey that.
It's making the game a fault. No, I get your point, man. You're saying basically.
Okay, I'm gonna tie this up. Long story short, if your kid shoots himself, regardless of whether he plays the game or not, your kid's probably a bit of a div anyway.
Oh, right. Oh, Sleep, you handle that. So, right. Okay. A quick intermission. And that took a lot longer than I thought. A quick intermission. Just want to tell all you Power Up viewers, listeners, all you gamers out there, Xbox, PlayStation, they have free games this month. For the Xbox side,
No, you're gonna dig this. Oh yeah, perfect.
would you like to read them out, Sleep?
Okay, so for Xbox, we got a small Android Cactus coming out between July the 1st and July the 31st. We got Death Squared July 16th to available till the 15th of August. Then we've got Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown available between the 1st of July and the 15th. And Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction, July 16th to the 30th.
Hey, Big, you wanna shout out these PlayStation games?
In English, please.
All right. So, for PlayStation, we have Absolver, we've got Heavy Rain,
Yes, sir.
we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 3, we got Space Overloaders. Oh, sorry. Space Overlords. Shut up. Don't say nothing. We've got Rayman 3 in HD, we've got Extreme Exorcism, and we have Zero Escape.
Nice.
Yeah, it's worth noting. I think Space Overlords and Rayman 3 are PS3, and Extreme Exorcism and Zero Escape, Time Dilemma or whatever it's called, is PSVR.
Also, exorcism is such a horrible word. That word is just horrible, bro. Like, I hate that word.
I know some people who are scared of the Exorcist film.
That's just
At me. At me.
Oh, are you scared of it, Big? Oh, mad take. Didn't know
Nah,
that.
fuck that film, fam. That's the first film that made me scared of scary films in general, fam.
It was scary for its time.
Dude.
Huh?
It was scary for its time, but now it's just kind of goofy.
Nah, man. How you gonna have the cross and start playing with nah. Nah.
Also, just to note, in the month of July, we have approximately about 11 or 12 more games to come out until the month is over.
Hey.
So we've got Shining Resonance Refrain that's coming out July the 10th. On the 13th, it's Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Earthfall, and Octopath Traveler. On the 17th of July, we've got Adventure Time Pirates of the End. What? Enchiridion.
Okay.
Raft. Sonic Mania Plus. That was nice and easy. And then on the 24th, we've got Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2. No Man's Lie, coming up for the Xbox One. Don't make sure you don't pick that up. The Banner Saga 3, and then on the 31st you got Code of Princess EX.
Hey, all right. Intermission done, peeps.
So you're all caught up.
Let's get back into the game. We're gonna try and speed through some of these.
Yeah, these are smaller topics.
These are smaller topics. The main one is going to be quite chunky, but we're going to speed through it. It's to do with Fortnite, and I've basically got a couple of questions to you guys in regards to Fortnite's future. I was speaking to Sleep about this earlier, and I was saying that Fortnite being the game it is super duper popular, and with it only being a game mode. Because I'm talking about Fortnite Battle Royale, not Fortnite Save the World. With it only being a game mode. There's only so much people could really play a game mode and then get bored of it, right? So I was saying, do you think when these new games come out in September, October, November, the winter period, right? Do you think Fortnite will still be popular? Because I'm thinking a lot of kids play Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty clear. I think a lot of kids are going to gravitate over to Red Dead Redemption 2, which is quite funny because we're just talking about kids playing. My little Timmy playing.
Right, so when little Timmy then ties his mum onto the train track, she's only got herself to blame.
Don't come with this fucking damsel in distress.
Like screaming out Gaza, nah, please, nah, die.
Right, so
she did this to herself.
So they got we got Call of Duty, we got Battlefield, we got Red Dead Redemption. And that's the name of three. That's just the big popular ones that people are gonna buy no matter what, right?
There's one you missed.
Who? What?
I think you did. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. I don't think.
I think he's talking about big multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't think Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think Spider-Man's gonna stop people from playing Fortnite. Like I feel like once you complete Spider-Man,
I mean, I won't lie. A ball of yarn stopped me from playing Fortnite. That's just that's the subject, though.
Stop being such a narcissist. It doesn't mean you. It means a Fortnite player, bro.
Bun people who still bang out Fortnite. I'm looking at you, Big.
Why are you so salty, though?
I hate Fortnite. I don't think you understand. I'm so tired of seeing it, and I can't escape it. There's no way.
Let Fortnite and Epic Games shine, innit? Like, my guy.
Let them make their money, though. Let them make their money, though. I won't deny that. From a developer standpoint, I'm like, yes, guys, make your money.
I prefer seeing
their money then.
I prefer seeing Fortnite stuff to Minecraft stuff.
Oh, you know what? I won't lie, you're right on that one.
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying I would still play Minecraft way faster than I'd play Fortnite. Don't get it
I get your hating ass out of here, man. Look, Vic.
No, go fight, calm, let me leave. Don't disband this whole group and mess up everybody's thing.
Big. I asked you the first question, bro. Do you think Fortnite will still be popular in September/October, winter period? What do you think?
Yeah, because obviously it's the audience, like especially it's amongst little kids,
Okay.
and obviously the Fortnite community, like in their own right, they're quite strong.
Hell yeah.
Like even if you want to admit it or not, Sleep.
Oh no, I don't have any problem admitting nothing.
Like
Not the game.
they are like very strong, like, and they've got little kids playing it as well. So long as like I feel like as long as you market it to the younger generation, they're always gonna have an interest in it. And once they have an interest in it, your game can't really die. I think Fortnite is their big blockbuster game for this younger generation. So like my little brother who is 9 years old, all he just talks about is Fortnite and how he like loves playing Fortnite. I'm like, bro, you're 9 years old.
Like it is the next Minecraft.
Yeah, it is there like
In
big
terms of
things. So
cultural impact.
I don't think anything drastically would change when it comes to like Fortnite in the later months or anything like that. As long as they keep putting out content, as long as you've got YouTubers playing it, and as long as they've like the thing about Fortnite, I actually quite like they update the game very regularly.
That's what
like,
that's what me and Peach were talking about.
So the thing is, what's crazy to me is it's a game mode. Like for me, maybe I'm a older generational gamer, maybe, but for me it's like I want a game. I don't want to just keep playing the same thing. I know, granted, it's free. Okay, I'm not hating. I'm not sleep, but like it's just a game mode. It's the same one.
But let's flip it on its head, right? So you saying you're an older gamer or whatever. Think of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's the same thing over and over again.
That is true.
Think of like Space Invader. Them older games.
Think
they're
of Tron. Think of
over and over again.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, they have like different levels and stuff, but Fortnite is a different experience each and every time you play that game.
It's true. That's true.
So the point is, like, it has a really good gameplay hook, which
it's really, like, it has massive replayability for. So, like,
that's what,
because obviously every game is always for the most part you could say is slightly different. And the moment they start adding in more maps to it, it's over.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second, because I just want to go through you Sleep. Do you think that they're gonna be still popular in the later months?
Oh yeah, they'd be like I put money on it.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you're with everybody else on that too.
To be honest, I'm not too sure because because of a reaction to PUBG and Fortnite or whatever, all these big developers are now implementing it. So Call of Duty's got a battle royale mode, and Battlefield's got a battle royale mode coming. I don't know the impact what that's going to have. Initially, I feel like it's not going to have enough of an impact to like
completely diminish it.
Yeah, because of the audience type. But the more like hardcore kind of player that plays it, I think they'll migrate over to like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that.
Your question was whether it would still be popular. That is yes. Whether there's going to be a drop in concurrent players, I'm saying also yes.
So
yeah, I think that's natural.
Yeah, and also I think it's also the case of it depends also on how well these other games companies do these battle royales, because of the fact of now, because obviously now they've they're grossing. I think in 1 month they made like 126 point something million, and
yeah, they're taking, like the mobile one alone is
dirty money. But it's the fact of these other companies that are doing them have a lot more money behind them, so they can put a lot more. They can probably, and obviously I understand money doesn't always equal a better product, but the fact that they'd have a much better platform to start.
The thing that I think the main factor on which Fortnite propels its massive success is because it's free.
Yes.
And it is available everywhere now.
Yes. Everywhere.
Like, available on any device. It's only not available on Android, or is it available on Android now?
It is coming to. I don't know if it's here yet, but it is like it was already being worked on. Like, so when they drop the iOS one. They were saying Android is coming. They just need to work on it or whatever. So and it is coming soon. So I'm not sure if it's out yet, but when that does happen, I mean, it's only going to get even more popular because there's way more Android phones out there than iOS phones.
It's true. That is true. And I'm gonna kind of bow into the next topic. Next point. Sorry. The next point I've got for Fortnite is what will it do to compete with the latest games, or can it compete? It can compete because it's gonna. I believe it will still remain popular. But what can it do? And I'm gonna kind of go first and chip in first because I actually have quite a big picture and what they can do. So. Really and truthfully, I think Fortnite excels well. One, it's free. You made that point, Shumo. And two, it does very little things very well. And what those little things I believe that it does well is it's easily accessible. On a basic level, very easy to understand how to play. You just gotta kill 100. Well, you just gotta be the last person to survive. That's the most basic, simplest idea ever. Anybody can understand the concept of that. Not only that, it's not particularly too difficult to play. Yeah, the building can be a pain in the ass, but you can still get some kills. You can still hide in the building until the last 10, right? You can still, you know what I mean? You can still find a rocket launcher and blow somebody. You can still do that, right? So the game is not necessarily too difficult on a basic level. It's free. Not only that, they're constantly putting these updates. Big, you talked about it. They're constantly putting these updates. Oh, you can use a shopping cart. Oh, we've got 4 Fortnite playgrounds. Oh, you've got a guided missile. C4. Portal.
Oh, speaking of Fortnite playgrounds, it's actually.
And the thing is, there's an actual story behind Fortnite as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just there's an actual okay, this has happened because so, and then with each new season they give you okay, now this is happening. Now this is the current season that we're on. I think season 4.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you guys who play Fortnite know that Tilted Towers got supposedly blown up, it didn't. A rocket came down, then just teleported itself through.
Right. Yeah. So their marketing is actually amazing. So with that rocket thing, in the map, it tears a hole in the reality or whatever. Now, somebody, I can't remember where it was, somebody in some desert somewhere in the real world has found this massive burger thing from the game.
Yeah.
In a desert, and now in the game there's sand.
Yeah.
Their marketing is
certain man's natural habitats.
I lie. Fun them camels.
You know what I mean, right? So my thing is this. Okay, this is what I don't want Fortnite to do: is keep the same consistent way of updating, because eventually there's only so much you can really. Well, I believe there's only so much you can really just add a new weapon.
I agree with you.
Add a new weapon. Add a new skin. There's only so much you can really keep doing that. I mean, I believe that.
I agree with you, but at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, it's the same. Go
on.
It's the same thing as Overwatch. They don't really they're quite slow to update, but they update in the same-ish kind of way. Yeah. They'll have a different game mode for a certain amount of time. They'll have new skins. They might add a map now and then, but quite rarely. They've only Overwatch has been out for 3 years or whatever. They've only added I think 6 extra characters or something like that. But the gameplay hook is there, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So it keeps people coming back. So it does keep it fresh a little bit, but their update plan hasn't really changed a lot.
Right. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do to you guys. We're gonna kind of change the style of this. I'm gonna pitch you this idea. I want you to give me a yay or a nay, right? And we'll talk about basically why you guys think that, right? So, I think what Fortnite, Epic Games, right? What they can do is they have a history of mod support. By that, the Unreal Tournament is a big Epic Games game, right? That has a lot of mod support. What I think they can do for Fortnite is get the community involved. They already did with this dance-off thing, but get the community more involved where now you can modify weapons for us. Now you can modify skins for us, and we'll put them in a little showcase off, and the best rated ones will get added into the game. CS:GO did that. I can't remember the other game that I was playing. of recent did that, but get these people involved. Where how can we modify stuff for you? All you have to do is download the Epic Games launcher and join our mailing list. That way, you basically get everybody who plays Fortnite who wants the mod tuned in, and that way you can keep pumping out all this notifications and whatnot to them. Because I feel like you got them on your mailing list, you get them to use your launcher, you get them to create stuff for the game for you, or at least help you with it. Sorry, that's like 3 major awesome things to like get you marketing and whatever else going. Also, it's pretty awesome because people are like, oh my god, have you seen I created this skin, they got into the game, or I helped this person out with the skin. Look how happy people were to do those dancing videos just to get what Orange Justice and whatever other stupid dances and whatnot was in the game, right? So my point is, do you think that modding support would be the way forward for Fortnite?
Yeah.
I
100%. 100%. I feel like if it's kind of like giving back to the community. So it's like, okay, we're playing a game and we're playing a game, and this game that we're investing so much time in, like if I'm able to help the game out by say adding something into it, and then be like, oh yeah, this is what I added into this game, blah blah blah. Oh, I had this idea, I gave it to so and so, and it actually took off, because depending on what mods get used, it might be popular and actually might become an actual current feature in the game.
Yeah.
So adding mod support, like Fortnite is one of those games, mod support would bang like 100%. Like it would lap off the success of having mod support. Obviously, to a certain extent, though, to if it's, as long as it's controlled, not mod support where GTA, you know, you're walking down the street and you get bent over and you're taken by any don, but hey, you know. But mod support in Fortnite would definitely make sense.
Yeah, what do you think, Shumo?
What you described sounds quite dope. If it's comprehensive enough, yeah, I think it would be quite good. I know Rocket League does something similar to what you were saying, but it's not like super like diverse or whatever. I think it's just like flags or whatever. You can make like community flags, and people seem to like that. There's like a lot of those going around and stuff. But yeah, if you could be like, get like this modified weapon or whatever that you've made, we'll pick the top ones and we'll put them in the game and blah blah blah. That'd be dope. Good like consumer engagement.
Yeah, because it's like if you played Fortnite recently, I mean, it's probably in there for a while now. I only just started playing season 4, and they've got like the concept art when you're loading in the game. And, like, you can see how like the character's built or how the gun's built, and then you can actually, if you go down the leveling up tree, I forgot what it's called. If you go down the leveling up like tree, you can actually unlock different concept arts to see, you know, how like, you know, the game's made. And like even though when I play games, I don't necessarily go to the theater mode, or I don't necessarily go to like, the gallery mode. I normally just go to play online or play the single player or whatever. But there are still a lot of people that go out there, use photo mode and stuff like that. Like I feel like that whole community involvement would be really, really good. What do you think, Sleep?
Yeah, it'll be fine. You guys have basically said all the points. So I don't think there's anything I could really add on to it. I think that's with most games, though. To be honest, like if you start getting the community involved, they're going to appreciate it more, because then it's a case of you're going to them like, hey, we value you. We value you guys so much that we want you guys part way in the game somehow. Okay,
well, how about this then? A slight variation on the question. Do you think Fortnite need to do that to compete? This is just for you, Sleep. Do you think they need to do that to compete with the latest games coming out? Or do you think they can just continue doing a new weapon or a new little trailer to showcase this going off?
I'm gonna put it to you this way.
Okay.
The moment that Ninja does not play Fortnite is when Fortnite's gonna see a very big dip. I feel like Ninja is carrying Fortnite heavy.
I don't think he's carrying Fortnite heavy.
I don't think.
He's just one of the mainstream Fortnite players. I don't think
the mainstream Fortnite player.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
I don't.
Not that he's not the main guy for the thing though. Like,
Well, the fact that if he stopped playing, other people wouldn't.
yeah, I don't
There's
know.
so many of them.
Yeah.
Sleep. There's just so many of them.
I don't know.
They just had didn't they just have like a 50-on-50 with celebrities? There's so many. I'm pretty sure they just had a 50-on-50 Fortnite game where like there's like one gamer, one Twitch streamer or YouTuber, one celebrity, one Twitch streamer, YouTuber, one celebrity. Like there's so many Fortnite streamers, content creators, whatever. Like now, I feel like if Ninja goes,
like I feel like if it was a case of he was like, yeah, I'm not playing Fortnite anymore. Like I'm done with the game.
yeah.
I'm sure
I definitely. I'm not saying. I'm not trying to say the game would fall into disarray. Like I think that's where you guys are getting confused with what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to fall into disarray, but it will definitely see a drop of some sort.
Yeah, it's like that's obvious. It's like you say if Chris Smooth was to stop playing 2K,
but that's
like of
that's
course,
with anything.
you know what I mean, right? Yeah, that's pretty much with everything. But I don't think you make a good point. Ninja,
But the question you're asking obviously is not that. But
I don't
think it needs to do anything.
I'm sure if he stopped, he'd lose some audience as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Did you guys?
Because people are just like, hey, you're the Fortnite guy.
Did you guys know that Ninja actually played Halo for like 8 years? 8 years. This guy was like a streamer of some sort for like 8 years playing Halo. He's a Halo pro player, and like he only really blew up. Sorry. When he started playing Fortnite. That's crazy.
Hey.
That's awesome. That's crazy.
Hey,
awesome
grinded, fam.
Yeah, trust me. Does anyone else want to add anything else to Fortnite topic before we move on?
There was an article of which is what we were talking about previously about restrictions, but very specifically directed at Fortnite.
Okay.
Which made me laugh. But yeah, they're trying to basically say that because I was saying to Siege, that Fortnite is turned into something less of like, so you get people who are just fanatics, people who just really, really like the game and stuff like that. Fortnite is more than that. Fortnite is
Life.
It's turned from something that could just be linked to as just even something, and an addiction sounds bad saying it, but this is now turned into like a cult type following. Like it's invading every aspect of it's invading life, it's invading sports, I'm pretty sure there's music about Fortnite, there's people doing it on road, all of this stuff. Like it's the fact that it's becoming it's got a cult following now. Like the fact of you can't, like, no matter where you are, you're gonna see it somewhere.
Well, it's not cult, it's just pop culture now. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're gonna call it. I don't know. Maybe I have a different definition.
Well, a cult is more secular. Like it's a cult would be smaller. Fortnite is massive and everywhere, and it is popular culture. That's why I'd say it's.
I have a different. I thought having a cult following was something different, but never mind. Then it's fine.
No, it's like.
But it is it's definitely something that people are very obsessed with. And you could, like, no matter where you are, you can't escape it. Like even in things like actual like dance shows, like when they're like what is it, World of Dance and other things like that, like you're seeing Fortnite dances, and it's like for me there's a point where it just kind of, it's just like
I want to just add a little bit to that, and I also want to kind of bounce at you and talk about your hatred towards the game, because I feel like I want to understand why you hate it so much. So to put good comparison to it is World of Warcraft. You know that period of time where World of Warcraft was like seen by all these people that didn't understand it as like, oh, you play Warcraft? You might not get this job if you play Warcraft. Like it got to that point where it's like that bad. Like people were like, oh, Warcraft will ruin your life. Like I don't know if Fortnite is there yet, but I do definitely understand what you mean by it's everywhere. Like it is definitely everywhere. Like
there's no escaping it. Like,
but anyway, so my thing is, I don't understand this. You have 2 minutes. What is got you so frustrated about Fortnite? Is it the game or is it the following?
I mean, it's a mixture of both. I'm tired of seeing people posting up literally victories and whatever. Like it's like, okay, like I don't have anything against it. Like, cool, you won a game. I don't need to see it. Like, realistically, like, who gives a shit?
Alright, go on.
You said I have 2 minutes, bruv.
Yeah, go on, sorry. You right. My bad, you right.
Shut down.
But yeah, like, for me, like you said before, it's a game mode, not a game. So I don't class it as a game. Like, it's one thing. And it's like playing Call of Duty, but only ever playing free for all. I don't understand how it has substance. It's something that got very old very fast, and it's not a case of whether I win a lot or whatever. It's not even a case of that. Like, I didn't play the game long enough to want to get good at it because I was like, I'm already bored of it. It's too same. For me, it's too samey. It like, for some people it works, which is fine. For me, it doesn't, and that's practically all it is. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't want to be automatically assumed that I must bang Fortnite because I play bare games. I'm just like, no, I play bare games. I don't play bare Fortnite. Like, I'm.
So are you the same? Yeah. Are you the same with other games such as FIFA, Call of Duty, and what's the other popular one? Like, really popular game. Oh god, because FIFA and Call of Duty, those a period of time. If you were a gamer, you were only considered to be playing those games. Like, really, truthfully, like, if you didn't play those games, then you were just
like FIFA. I got very. I don't know. I don't dislike FIFA more than Fortnite. To be fair, I don't really dislike FIFA. It's just something that just doesn't appeal to me. But
But this sounds like that's the same case with this.
Yeah.
No, it just doesn't appeal to you.
Oh no! It's a fact of I dislike it because I don't understand. For me, I don't understand the mindset behind why. Because at least with FIFA, there's more to do. Don't get me wrong. In concept, it's just. But with Fortnite, it is literally the same thing.
It is on FIFA too. If you're gonna simplify it so much, it is on FIFA too.
Sorry, you dropped that for a second. But like, no, because you can take a much more football manager route and kind of just not play, but then you can play as one person on it. Like, it's not the same thing because one of them is a battle royale free for all team. Well, actually, to be fair, it has different. I suppose it has the game modes and whatever. FIFA is a much more polished product. Like, there's more to do than just one thing.
Okay, one last question then. So.
But that's also why I haven't got into Call of Duty, because Call of Duty started getting very samey with me.
So,
the only reason why I got Modern Warfare Remastered was because... technically Infinite Warfare is because I wanted the remaster. Because that was going back to a different time of when, like, that was a peak.
So, like, that's a real question on the topic, and then we'll move on. Because I'm not trying to stand this all night, but... So, is it just Fortnite, or is it Battle Royale game modes, period? So, is it a PUBG? Is it the Colin? Is it the DayZ mod? Like, they all had their Battle Royale game modes too. Like, is Call of Duty Blackout going to get you... Is Call of Duty Blackout a game I'm not looking forward to? Is game mode, sorry, I'm looking forward to.
I'm not looking forward to...
Dying Light?
I'm not really looking forward to any Battle Royale games.
Cool.
In general.
Battle Royale in general. That's cool. Alright, cool. We're going to move on. I want to talk about Nintendo Switch stuff. I'm gonna leave this to Sleep and Shumo because big. I know you guys. I know you don't play Switch. I don't play Switch either. I'm still waiting for someone to be like, "Hey, yo, Power Guy, like this is what the Switch is all about." And I'm still waiting for that one guy to tell me and show me what it can do. But anyway, we've got Warframe coming to the Switch. We've got plenty of other games coming to the Switch too. First question really is Warframe coming to the Switch. Obviously, I've played Warframe before, both on the PC, the PS4, and not much is really different. PC's a bit further ahead, whatever. Now it's coming to the Switch. The main thing for Warframe is it's online. Like, I think even to play a single player mission, you must log in. You know what I mean? Like, you must connect to the server. With the Switch, I know not everybody plays it like this, but with the Switch, I was under the impression that it's very mobile based. You go everywhere you want to go. Can you even play it? If you don't have the Wi-Fi connection, or you can do 4G on the Switch, can't you?
No, not natively. So, what you can do is, and I've tried that a few times. You can mobile hotspot.
Yeah.
And you can connect to that and play online via that way if you're playing in handheld mode. So basically, the way the Switch is set up, you've got your dock and you've got obviously your tablet. When it's in the dock, you're probably at home or somewhere. You can connect to a Wi-Fi connection. that's fine. When you're on the go, you can mobile hotspot it. I was doing that with Fortnite. So Fortnite came out on the Switch during E3. And it was quite a big deal for Switch users. I think it got like 3 million downloads the day of release, or something like that. And yeah, I over since the last podcast, I've been playing quite a bit of Fortnite on the Switch, mainly in like handheld mode because it's a cool. It's a good kind of like, I don't want to say time waster, but it's a good like small game to play to keep yourself kind of entertained.
That's what Fortnite excels at, man.
Yeah, and it works best. It doesn't work best on the Switch. It works well on the Switch for me personally because of the Switch's current state in terms of games. Where there is quite a lot of games on there, but there's not loads with like a replayability gameplay hook kind of thing. There's not like a load of crazy multiplayer games. So you've got like Mario Kart and you've got like Splatoon. You've got some others, but there's not like a big massive following for all of those. So Fortnite's good for like a quick game or whatever. I was trying it out on the mobile hotspot, and I played one game, and it only took like 10 meg of my data. So it's not too heavy on the data restriction or whatever. Yeah. So in terms of Warframe, I think it can work. Go on. No, go on, carry on.
Did you feel that when you hotspotted it, it slowed down the game, or was it able to run smoothly?
No, I didn't find any like lag or anything like that. Only like just like the regular lag with Fortnite on the Switch, and I think I played it on the Xbox as well. Some of it is a bit laggy at times. But yeah, it was seamless through 4G because my 4G in particular is pretty fast anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, it works fine. It works good. Yeah. So Warframe in particular, yeah, I feel like it can work quite well on the Switch. Again, it's free. So a lot of people will should get into it. In terms, what will kind of make or break it is how well it actually works, like in handheld mode, I reckon. Because I know a large majority of Switch players, or I say a majority of Switch players kind of just play it handheld mode.
Yeah.
Me, I kind of do it like 50-50. Like if I'm on the go or I just want to just play it in my hands or whatever, I'll use handheld mode. If I'm at home, I'll usually use dock mode. Or if I'm playing like a bigger game, like a Mario game or something like that, then I'll put it in the dock. But yeah, I don't see why Warframe won't work on it. It'll just be another outlet for it. I think it's a positive thing for the game. Should get more people in, and it's a pretty fun game. I'm pretty sure people will like it.
What do you think, Sleep? You played Warframe before, haven't
you? Yeah.
Did you get far?
No.
Because when I played, I played. Is it Excalibur?
Yeah.
The main guy I played on the PC. I played it like not when it first came out, but pretty early, right? So there wasn't many. I think it was Excalibur. I think there was Ash. I think a Volt, the guy with the electric, and maybe Rhino. I think that was it. It was only like 4 dudes. I played it on the PS4. Gave that a go. I didn't play it for very long. Played it for maybe about an hour or 2 hours. And it's the exact same game. So you're right, Shumo. If they can get it to be the same, not the same, but at least somewhat of a close second, right? You get it to be a close. Yeah, right. If you get it to be a close second, I think it will be good. My main concern for this was like mobile hotspotting. Like, how much is that going to take up? How long is it going to take for you to log in? Because I was thinking like unless you have a Wi-Fi place to play it, it's not going to really be that great.
I'm not sure on how intensive Warframe is.
I can personally vouch about mobile hotspots with multiplayer gaming.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
And
it doesn't take up a lot of data either. I was playing Battlefield 4 at one point, using my mobile hotspot, was playing for about 2 hours or so, 2 to 3 hours, and it only used about 260 megabytes.
Did I ever quick story time? Have I ever mentioned the time where I was at uni, right? I didn't have internet, right? So,
Oh my gosh.
and I wanted to play ESO really bad. ESO is Elder Scrolls Online. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to play ESO really bad. So like, I was just chucking O2. That was my mobile tap. I was just chucking O2. These bolt on, like, yo, give me 10 gigabytes. Yo, give me 20 gigabytes. Like, I was bolting these on. And I actually connected to my PS4 and playing it. And my PS4 wasn't really even that bad, to be fair. I could get for like maybe 2 gig, I could get like a afternoon session, play for maybe 4 hours, 3 hours. So hotspot, it's not actually a bad idea. I think
it's good. It's good in a pinch. That's why I was giving you the example of like I played a game and it only took up like 10 meg, especially if you've got quite a good data plan. So for me, for example, I recently just upgraded my data plan, and I get 40 gig now. So it's not too much of an issue. But no, mobile hotspot, it works well.
Anybody who hasn't played Warframe should definitely check it out. You can get it on like almost every platform now. Maybe not mobile phone.
I'm thinking about getting back into it.
It's good fun. Maybe the powered up crew will play it one day. We're still gonna play GTA first. Still gonna play GTA first.
GTA video coming out tomorrow. Done no.
Right. So Sleep. A couple of games coming out for the Switch, right? Talk about
yes.
It.
So the game. Yeah. So the CEO for Devolver Digital was saying how they are going to release a total of 12. Just this one developer said they were going to. Sorry, publisher. They said they were going to release 12 games in total by the end of the year. One of them most likely being Hotline Miami. There was another one I do not remember. On this thing, it just shows Hotline Miami. Serious Sam.
Serious Sam. Has anyone ever played that before?
I know it, but I haven't ever played it.
Serious Sam is like it's like
a Duke Nukem.
Yeah, that's it. A Duke Nukem. So it's not quite Doom, and it's not quite Quake, but there's a load of aliens you want to kill and shoot and blow up. Right? It's like a bullet hell, bullet storm kind of game. Yeah,
there's like loads of ridiculous weapons and stuff like that.
Also, so it's a bunch of previously released titles, new games, and unannounced projects also.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of mystery behind it. There's not a crazy amount of information, but yeah, it's like there's a lot that's potentially coming, and there's a lot that's also coming that nobody has a fucking idea about, which would be fucking dope.
Well, you know what, man? I hope some games do get ported to the Switch, because Switch is doing okay now. I can safely say my concerns with the Switch of not getting it because it didn't have many games, that is gone. Now it's the sense of money. Once I get some bread together, then maybe I'll get myself a Switch. I'll join the Nintendo.
Well, Switch is like £200 pound.
You know what? It's not the Switch itself. It's the games and the what they call the remotes, Joy-Cons. It's the Joy-Cons. And it's
games are very expensive. Yeah. You have to put a lot of effort in to try and like get a deal with some of them.
Yeah, man. And Nintendo, they don't lower in price, bro. Like a Mario game, that is never going below like £25.
Yeah,
never.
But you do get like the odd spots where they do, and you just have to jump on it like immediately.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Like it's not necessarily from Nintendo. Wherever it is. Like the other day. Oh, all right. So quick story time from me, and quick time to put some company in particular on blast.
Shame them.
So one of the Switch games, Mario vs. Rabbids Kingdom Battle or something like that.
Yeah.
Went to buy it the other day. I saw a deal for it. It was $19.99 at Sainsbury's. I was like, all right, calm. Let me order this quick. I go on to Sainsbury's. I see it. I add it to the basket. Then I go. They want me to make an account. I was like, all right, cool. Make an account. Blah blah blah. So I'm tapping through. I come to find out, one, you're only allowed to make an order if it's over £25. And two, if it's under £40, you have to pay a £7 delivery fee. So, and three, if it is also under £40, you have to pay £4 click and collect fee if you wanted to go to a store.
£4 just to click up the No, bun Sainsbury's. This is why I stopped working there, fam.
So I said, fuck Sainsbury's. I emailed them. I said, delete my account. I just made this account, and your flipping prices are ridiculous for delivery.
Fuck
and blah, blah, blah.
Sainsbury's, cuz.
I said, delete my account.
Make life taste better. Shut
They
up. The food's dead.
They emailed me back. They said, Hi Sam, I'm sorry to hear that you find our prices for collect and delivery ridiculous. So I was like, yeah, that one
Ridiculous.
stung you,
Bro,
innit?
you're gonna charge me to pick up a fucking game. To
It's-
pick up, nah.
So
Nah.
it's safe to say I didn't get that particular game, but the deals exist.
Nah.
Give it to
Find
them.
Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's, we don't want you to sponsor us. Fuck you.
Hey, don't sponsor big, but sponsor big. Alright. I need that
What do you mean
bread.
don't sponsor big? No, don't sponsor any of us, Sam.
I need that
One
bread.
Sainsbury's. Wait, don't worry, Sam. I got your back. I got your back. One Peach.
See, and that's an ex-employee.
Hey, right, so, let's move on to Microsoft and Sony, right? So, I've got, you know, I thought it was just me. Hey, Sleep, are you like, you got like a penny, you're like clanging it across your keyboard?
No.
You sure?
On Sainsbury's.
Oh, my days.
Oh,
Dead them.
God.
That's right, Sainsbury's, Tesco, because every little
It's a Morrison's thing. Like, the
Trust
Morrison's
me. Trust me, it's anywhere but Sainsbury's.
Hey,
Isn't it?
Asda, man, come on, fellas. Asda.
Hey, hold tight, Netto.
One day I went to Netto. Oh, it's Lidl, but you know.
it's little.
Y'all get the joke I was trying to make.
Every little helps.
Yeah,
But yeah, back on topic.
yeah, Microsoft and
the
Sony,
Marvel-
right?
Oh, okay, Microsoft. Sorry.
Ah,
We're still on the Volvo.
Oh, yeah, sorry, do you want to still talk about the Volvo?
Oh no, I was just going to mention the Volvo make a lot of great games. I was just going to speculate on some that they might have coming. I know they got that weird like Gung Fu game, my friend Pedro or whatever, coming to the Switch. But I think
My
that was
friend
for
Pedro?
next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird, but it looks cool. Like you're backflipping, you're doing all this like
There's a game
Kung
called My
Fu
Friend is
gun
Pedro.
shit.
Oh,
My
Yeah.
friend Pedro.
Oh, there's one for you, big, called Ape Out, where you're basically a gorilla and you just
Wow.
like fuck people up. That's coming this year. I expect that'll probably come to the Switch. They'll probably put Hotline Miami on. They'll probably put Titan Souls on. Wolf Metal Chaos XD would be good if that comes. I know that's slated for PS4 and Xbox One. They haven't said if it's coming to Switch or not. But yeah, no, man, they make good games.
they also made Absolver, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they also made Absolver. That would be cool as well if that came out.
Absolver is if
A
anybody.
unique martial arts action RPG.
yes, there we go. Thank you very much. If anybody played that game and didn't get lost, I owe you money. So, let's move on to Microsoft and Sony. We're talking about Microsoft. Well, first we're talking about Microsoft, and we're talking about the lack of sales in Japan. I know that Microsoft don't do too hot when it comes to selling. I'm putting it lightly. When it comes to selling stuff over in Japan, mainly because Japan's got Sony and Nintendo, and really, truthfully, ain't nobody got time for Microsoft. But my thing is, should Microsoft really even? I mean, obviously they're gonna have some sort of concern because they want to take over the world, right? That's the plan. But like, does it really even bother them? Is that even their main focus? Wouldn't they rather just work on their actual audience? You know what I mean? Like Microsoft has such a big audience. Xbox. Let's talk about Xbox. Really, that's what I'm talking about. Xbox has such a big audience over here, in UK and US and Europe, and whatever. Right? Does it even matter if they can't, get a hold of these Japanese followers or whatnot? Is that a big concern for Microsoft? Who wants to take the first?
Go on, Shim.
Go on, shoes.
Sure. I think with Xbox, I think it might be like a bit of a pride thing. Just because obviously the Japanese market is a significant market because of how the culture is with video games.
Yeah.
Like it's always been like Japan's always been the video game kind of capital of the world kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
And they don't do well over there for a number of reasons, really. Yeah, like you were saying, they've got Nintendo and they've got Sony.
And mobile too.
Yeah, and mobile. Yeah, mobile like kicked a lot of people's asses when that started getting popular because everybody was just playing that because they spend all their time walking around and traveling and stuff like that. It's a lot easier. Like the 3DS kills over.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's just something that Microsoft's never really been able to understand. especially like from the last generation as well, because Microsoft usually was quite focused on like action shooter games,
Yeah.
and that doesn't translate well in Japan. They play role-playing games, they play action games, they play like strategy games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what's popping over there, and like Nintendo games.
Hey, man,
And so I think that's why they don't do too well. Like so I got an article here from, it doesn't say an exact date, but it just says a year ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
Microsoft's Xbox One sold a whopping 187 units in Japan last week. So there was 1 week last year where they only sold 187 Xbox Ones.
You know what? I actually heard, just a quick tangent, I actually heard there was an artist in the UK that only sold like 150 something albums. I think it's Robbie Thicke. That's an artist, right? Robbie Thicke.
Wow!
Wait, what? Robin Thicke?
Tiny, like, whatever, like.
What?
That's
right,
crazy.
wait, Robin Thicke only sold. Wait, first of all, he's not even from the UK.
Yeah, but
No,
in the UK, he didn't
say
sell.
in the UK market.
Yeah, did not.
Oh, in the UK, not raw.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, back to that.
So yeah, 187 Xbox Ones. So to compare that with everything else for that week, there were 444 Wii U's. So you've already been double paced by Wii U's. There was 1,724 PS3s. From last gen, there was 1,999 new 3DSs. There was 5,050 PS4 Pros, 6,242 DSs, 7,780 Vitas, 25,006 PS4s, 25,719 new 3DS LL, which I think is the XL model, and 45,509 Switches. That's mad. Like, that's how bad they do over there, and I don't know why they don't just concede and like you said, focus on their audience. Like last generation, they had a big like grip on America. Sony's always naturally done better in Europe, but Xbox had quite a big market share in Europe during the 360 days. Obviously, they lost some foot in this generation.
You know what it is, yeah, it's just America trying to colonize everywhere. That's what it is. And the Japanese are like, no, you cannot come here and take my property.
Yeah, Eric Cartman, baby.
But yeah, like I was talking to Shames about this, and I was also talking to Pete about this too. I was like, they should probably just pull it. Like, yeah, they'd be upsetting the few that would buy it, but let's be honest, they will find a replacement.
They have to be losing money by launching in that market.
Yeah, because obviously logistics, for logistics wise, it's not cheap to send stuff. But like, so to get this is just the thing, but like to send stuff over there costs hundreds. Now, and that's if you're just sending one thing. Now imagine if you're sending a lot of them things.
Does anyone know?
You're paying for them to get there. If they don't sell, you're paying for them to come back.
That's true.
To get repurposed elsewhere, where their market is.
Yeah.
It just seems like could you imagine if the market that were buying it over there were Americans or something living in Japan?
You know what? 187 of them, sure. I'd believe it.
You know, the craziest thing is that might actually be true. That could be the most jacked up thing about it. That might actually be true.
It's just Americans living over there.
Trust me.
Mad.
Or just people just from not Asia.
Do you guys want to move on to the last gaming topic, which is Sony's crossplay?
I think we can briefly just mention it.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's really a lot to mention. It's a lot more opinion based.
Yeah, we don't really have a question for this one. It's more so just explain the situation. Now, obviously, everybody's been waiting for Sony to allow us to play with Xbox players. No longer will we have these stupid wars where, Xbox is better than Sony. It's better than PlayStation. PlayStation's better than Xbox. You should jump onto this, right? Everybody can play together. That's the fun. That's the awesomeness about video games, right? What is Sony's deal? Why is Sony not going in with this crossplay?
From sorry,
Okay.
go on. You go first.
I was going to pose a question to everyone. So Sony's holding out on the crossplay. They're saying no to it. Just for context, Xbox said no to this last generation when Sony was asking for it. But that's beyond the point. This is where we're at now. Sony's holding out, and Xbox and Switch, they're like ganging up, basically saying, "Oh, like we can do it." Blah 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 blah. Does it matter to you guys?
No. No, not really. Like, it would be nice to crossplay, like, but I feel like depending on the type of games, I know if you're gonna crossplay, what games are you gonna allow?
It'll be the ones that are available on both. So like Elder Scrolls or what the fuck is that? Sorry, ginormous thing.
It's right. So the conversation.
So give me a second. I'm just gonna go eradicate this.
No,
okay.
I think it matters to me a lot, and I look at it from like a gaming, like what gaming can become, because I believe the next generation of gaming is this idea of it's compatible with everywhere for everybody anytime. You know what I mean? That's what I don't believe graphics is the next generation. I think, or I don't really believe having these immersed stories in every single game or something. I don't believe that's like the next generation. I believe it's just accessibility, better servers, things run faster, things run smoother, better hardware. You know what I mean? Like more accessibility. Like I believe that's the next generation. And I feel like a good step is to allow these systems to play with one another. Now, is it fair? Because if you think about it, PC triumphance over you play Fortnite with somebody on PC and you're on the Blade console on the PS4. You can't. There's just only so much you can do against them, right? So
wait. So just for context, you can play against PC and mobile on.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I think that I can't see any reason. I don't see the point of not allowing that extra platform. Damn, Sleep, you really going ham beating up whatever that thing is you're hitting. I just, long story short, I just want it so if I ring my boy up and I'm like, yo, bro, let's go play 2K, NBA 2K, right? That's how I play a lot, right? He's like, yeah, sure. He doesn't have to take his PS4 out of his drawer to put it up, hook it up to his TV, get his PS4 controller and charge it and everything. He can just play. Yo, this guy. He can't just. They even mute his mic either. My guy. I just want it so it's just easy, it's just quick, fast. Like, yo, let's just boot online, jump online, let's play. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would love. So anyway, continue your point anyway.
Yeah. So all right. So I've got. Well, we haven't got Sleep's opinion. We'll get that in a minute.
Yeah.
For me, I just don't feel like it's a big deal. Purely because, just like no other game lets you do it, and we've all been getting along fine with it. Like on a lot, majoritively, no other game really lets you do it. Like Rocket League does or whatever. With certain platforms. I hear what you're saying. Like, so if your friend's got an Xbox and you've got a PS4, you can just play it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just don't see how big that audience is. And on top of that,
that's why I say depending on what game.
Yeah, nobody's really been able to tell me how this benefits Sony. Because at the end of the day, they're a business. Like, they're trying to make money. And on top of that, they have the market share. They've got more than Xbox and Switch combined. So for me, it just doesn't make sense for them to do it. There's no real benefit other than maybe some public opinion.
True. That's true. That's very true. You know what? Every time I talk about stuff like this, I actually never really get around to proposing myself a question. And if I had to answer that question of how does it really benefit anything, really and truthfully, I couldn't really see that. The only way I could see it really benefiting is RPGs. No, it's like MMORPGs. You know, like a Warcraft or like an Elder Scrolls Online, like making these massive multiplayer online worlds even more massive, even more multiplayer, even more online. You know what I mean?
It could also make things worse.
Okay.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
What I mean by that is, so let's step away from what would possibly benefit and what might not benefit it. So already there's there's a console war inside itself, whether you basically play Xbox or PlayStation. Then you adding in the element of, hey, let's be honest, this is most likely what happens. So let's take a Call of Duty, for instance. One side Xbox, one side PlayStation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People would get butthurt if they lost, and people, because they'd be like, like it would only affirm that notion even more of the fact of my console is better. And people get very emotional about it and whatever, because let's be honest, that's how some people are. They're essentially they're you can almost essentially say they're repping their colors. It's either blue or green. No, but for real though, that's how people are. Some people are really, really heavy into it, into the fact of saying their console is better. And then if it was a case of they end up losing a game, I feel like some people could take it really badly, and it could be a thing of, it would stop being playing games for fun and start playing games to prove a point.
Mm.
And not a point that's worthy of proving. Realistically, at the end of the day, Xbox or PlayStation, who the fuck cares? As long as you're having fun playing games, isn't that the only thing that's really important?
Yeah, but I believe that can excel the fun. You know what I mean? I know you're saying it's not all just, it only gets better, it can get worse. But I feel like the games that have a, what's the word? Not so strong fan base, not so strong community base.
Mm-hmm.
These multiplayer games where you need to go on at peak times just to play the game. Not every game like a GTA where you search online and you can't find a lobby on your own because everybody's playing the game. Shit, that's GTA. There's games where the community suffers at non-peak times, and being able to grab audiences from almost everywhere, it just helps the player base a little bit, and I think that'll be more beneficial, basically.
Okay, yeah, I understand what you mean. So let's take Fortnite, for example, because they are everywhere and you can cross-play in one way or another. It definitely helps them, but who does it help? Most of all, it helps Epic, not necessarily Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo.
Jesus.
True say.
Or PC or mobile.
Yeah,
whatever.
because then they can, because then it gets into a case of offering exclusives and stuff. Because then they'd be striking deals of oh yeah, we're gonna have the exclusive skin for thingy. But then
that's what would happen. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's
I'm saying, this is why I said makes things worse, because it then creates more of a divide. Because realistically, I'm not saying this would be a better thing by any stretch of the imagination before anybody starts pinning that on me. But I'm not saying it's the ideal situation. But imagine if there was just one console and everybody was just playing together. It was just one thing, much. Would that be? I feel like because there'll be nothing to fight for, essentially, or fight over, should I say?
Well, no, the fight would then go to the developers and the other publishers. That's where the fight would be held, instead of the console makers.
Yeah, it's almost a case of there has to be a very and I think I understand why Sony might not be on it, because maybe it was a thing of between last year and now they've actually thought about it. It's a case of, at the end of the day, this is still, regardless of what you want to say, and obviously I understand this very well, and I know Shoes definitely does too. This is still a business.
This is still a what?
It's still a business. Sorry, I'm not sure if I cut out. Yeah, it's still a business. People still have to be getting paid. And if there's a way that you can increase it by basically adding exclusivity to your platform, by all means. The whole thing of a couple of games for Xbox or PlayStation are released earlier. So I remember, what was it Call of Duty when it was out for the Xbox first?
So this generation, the map packs are at 30 days earlier for PlayStation. And I think Modern Warfare Remastered was one of them as well.
Yeah, so like, this is what I'm getting at. Like, so everybody wanted to play this thing, but everybody obviously wants to play it as soon as they. Usually, people want to play a game if they really like it as soon as they can. So let's say for instance, somebody checked out a game in, sort of in the middle of the last generation consoles, so the 360 and the PS3, and they checked it halfway, and they got rid of their console, and they're like, hey, I'm like, you know, it's whatever for me. But then they see this coming out, and they're like, oh, snap, it's coming out, and then they see they can play earlier. Then it's an incentive for people like that, because I'm sure there's people in those type of situations for them to then go buy a PlayStation because it's coming up on PlayStation first.
Yeah, I mean, like, I see what you're saying, Peach. Like, from a consumer standpoint, yes, it would be great if there was crossplay and, you know, my boy's got an Xbox, but I've got a PS4, but we can play the same game. Calm. That'd be great. But, yeah, like Sleep was saying, from a business perspective, there's no real incentive. I have no doubt in my mind, if Sony was losing this generation, they wouldn't have this attitude. They would they would be doing it. Yeah, the only reason that Microsoft is doing it, I believe, is because they're losing.
Oh yeah, like they let's be very honest, and we're going to go back to the origins. Xbox, see, it's not even Microsoft, because we're talking about the Xbox. The Xbox division, they lost from the jump, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, Don Matrick, they had to replace him. We've got Phil Spencer. And Phil's doing like a great job with gaining consumer confidence back. That's why he's doing things like the crossplay deals with Nintendo and the backwards compatibility and just really consumer-friendly moves. But when you're on top, these are things that you don't really need to do because you're winning anyway. You're getting the sales. Xbox is playing catch up. If the shoe was on the other foot, which it was last generation, and Sony PS3 was losing, Xbox 360 was dominating, Sony asked them for crossplay. Microsoft was the one saying no, like I said in the beginning. So it's just funny how it comes around or whatever. But
comes around full circle.
Hey, the rubber band is on the other claw.
Next gen consoles come out, they might actually implement it. So.
Well, even like I'm very like with this is a completely different topic altogether. We can do something else about this at another time.
Yeah, we can do a follow up.
Yeah, but I suggest this to the idea afterwards and before we actually announce it. But that's a whole different conversation about next gen, because I don't know. I can't think of what the PS Pro or the Xbox One X can do that the next gen can't do. That's what because I'm like, the PS4 Pro, as far as I know, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X can run 4K games. The only thing is it would run 4K games better. But at that point, if it's only going to do that much more,
is that really a point?
Isn't that much? It's like what more do you have left to do?
I think you're tying it to like resolution.
No, I'm not tying it to resolution. Like, obviously, it's probably smooth. I don't know if these things are running at 4K at 30 FPS or 60 FPS.
I think the next gen leap is going to be more granular. So obviously, where we was like from like PS2 or whatever, or even PS1, like things went up exponentially, and on like an exponential graph, when you get closer to the top, the difference is the difference in the rise gets a lot smaller.
Yeah, it starts to plateau.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen. Like we're going to plateau out, but it will be smaller things. So it'll be like better animations, more intuitive movement, and better, just all of that stuff, just more of it kind of thing. Better performance, better online capability, and all stuff like that.
But yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting, because the Pro is the Pro because let's take the originals of both. So the original Xbox One X, the Xbox One, and the Xbox One X, and the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. So we'll take the earliest versions and then the latest version. So obviously, there's performance improvements on the Pro. Like you and me can vouch for that. Like everything runs smooth. Like we've seen a Monster Hunter run on.
Yeah,
fair enough. We saw it run on a Slim, but it's practically just a squashed down original 4, sorry. And it doesn't look as great. But with the Pro,
and it doesn't play as well. It doesn't run as well either.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, what you're saying is I understand, but I don't see where it's going to be so different. Because especially when you said animations, that just sounds like they could just overhaul the user interface if it's something where it's where it's a menu, or it's something that's something where the people who are developing the game would then step in. It doesn't seem like something that seems like a hardware issue.
Well, no, yeah, it is a hardware issue because the developers have more to play with.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not denying that. But what I'm getting at is the fact that you're saying animations. Animations is just movement. It's taking one. It's because an animation for like a walking thing. Let's take one walking thing and then you just slightly tweak it. Slightly tweaking it to make it either more realistic or whatever doesn't actually increase the.
Are you talking about frames?
No, I'm talking about memory and how much because that's what it really boils down to when it's animations, because it's if the character's doing a lot more, because if it's the thing of if they're gonna start adding in like really fine details, then obviously yes, it would tax the system a little bit more. If that's what you're getting at, then that's less of a animation thing and more of a graphical output thing.
But animation.
But what I'm getting at is the fact of like I personally can't see. Like you said, it's definitely going to plateau out, and like you said, it's definitely going to be fine things. But I don't think it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to look at my Pro and go, it's time to get rid of it. I don't think the difference is going to be that big, personally.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Does anyone else want to add anything else on the gaming topic before we move on to the entertainment?
Video games are amazing.
Say that again, Nick.
No, I said I'm good from my point.
Hey, I'm good too. Shooms, you good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We are almost reaching our 2-hour mark. Once we reach 2 hours, I'm gonna be like, whoa, 2 hours. But yeah, entertainment. We're gonna be talking about Big Nasty first. Now, for those,
yes,
Base Defense League
winning.
Does anybody want to explain to the viewers who Big Nasty is? Anyone want to give that a go?
Basically.
Bro.
Basically.
Oh my days, can you not? Basically, Big Nasty is big.
You should let Big do it. They got the same name.
Oh my lord.
Go for it, Big.
Right, you might as well carry on, man.
If I were you, I wouldn't have that.
Are they both not named Big?
But are they both nasty? You know, no. Big Nasty is basically a grime artist,
Wow.
and
trying to add shots in that.
he's got himself a TV show.
Yeah.
That was so anticlimactic. Oh,
Right, so Big Nasty got a new TV show. It's called
You know, it
Rapper.
wasn't anticlimactic when your God of War save got deleted. How
my
about that?
days.
Damn. Brian, come down here and bag a mini straw, bro.
Don't worry, I'll delete that too.
I'm a bus judge on you.
What?
What?
I'm a bus judge on
You're going to excuse me?
you. Judge.
Oh,
Days.
bus judge.
I'm just gonna kind of just talk about
Well,
Big
some of
Nasty's
it's
new
judge,
show called Rapper to Report.
I'm
No,
gonna send you to Penn to watch man take your cornbread.
What? Is my name PowellGuyGaming?
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I'm entertaining this nonsense. I get that out of it.
We're being serious now.
Okay, yeah. So Big Nasty got a new show called Rapper to Report. He's partnered or sponsored by I think 888 Sport. He's basically taking his kind of grime artists, kind of like London lingo, and you know his funny comedic side, and bringing it to daily reporting, like daily reporter tasks. I watched episode 1 to 3.
Wait, are you talking about the actual TV show or the actual webisode? Because those are two different things.
Webisode. What I'm talking about?
Oh, I was talking about the TV show.
He's got like a proper show on Channel 4. Like he's got
Yeah, he's got an actual proper show on Channel 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's what I was on about.
oh,
the Big Nasty show.
Yeah,
Right.
the Big Nasty show with him and Mo the comedian. Wait, what did you
Yeah, Mo
watch?
Gilligan.
I haven't even watched that. Like I'm talking about what?
Man, he's on some other stuff.
No, that thing was just for the World Cup.
Yeah, that thing has been shoved down my throat for the past like a week.
Close your mouth. then.
Gay,
Mad.
gay.
Right? Let me
I've never
explain.
even seen it.
Let me explain.
shoved down your throat. I don't know you like to like that.
Okay. First and foremost, calm yourself. Second, I don't have ad block, alright, on Google, okay? So I get adverts running on my on my Chrome YouTube all
Why don't
the
you
time.
have?
The reason why I don't is because like YouTubers need the monetization, and I feel kind of rude. Just I'm a YouTuber, man. I don't want to, I don't want people to do it too. All right.
No, ban them, fam. They've made it already, fam.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I swear it doesn't matter.
I think a conversation for another time. The point is, this 888
Imagine
sport.
watching adverts for no reason.
This 888 sport has been shoved like all the time. Every time I have a run, yo, I'm big nasty. 888 sport. I'm like, yo, this guy, get off my screen, bro. So right, so that's what I was talking about. In this guy, always trying to set me up. So
should never let Big Nasty inside.
Hey, let Peach finish this.
I'm gonna
let him get to it.
I'm gonna briefly talk about it. I want you guys to talk about the actual show because I never even heard of the actual show. Long story short, he's doing little web episodes. Unfortunately, not doing too great. The first one got like 1 million views and 100 likes. So,
Raw.
Mad.
Not dislikes. There's not many dislikes. There's just no likes.
Yeah, just 100 likes and
Yeah.
1 million views. That's a weird conversion.
So it's doing very, very, very bad. Big Nasty, I'm hoping your actual show is doing pretty good. Does someone want to tell me about it? Tell me and the viewers about his actual show.
It is hilarious.
Okay. What does he do?
Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, they were roasting like the first episode. Him and Mo Gilligan were roasting the actual like cast, not cast, but the directors, saying that how the directors try to take away how they wanted the actual show to run, and they were like, oh, these white people just pissing me off, man. Like, how you gonna try to tell me how to make a show for black people when you're not even black? It's like,
Damn.
ah.
Wait, so is that what he does on the show? Does he just roast people?
No. So he does.
So all right. Basically, it's a late night show.
Okay. Cool.
Obviously quite comedic or whatever. So imagine like Graham Norton show. He has guests come out and talk to them, make fun of like stuff they do and some of their clips, stuff like that. Just talk to them, like have like a fun conversation with them. There'll be like dance bits, there'll be performances, stuff like that. It's a late night show. So there's been 2 episodes out so far. First episode he had Ed Sheeran as his biggest guest. He also had an actor from The Handmaid's Tale, and
But him and Ed Sheeran are bedrooms anyway.
yeah, but still, it's Ed Sheeran. And they had the choreographer of the This Is America dance video. And for that segment, she taught him and Mo how to do like some of the dance and stuff, and he dressed as Gambino by taking his shirt off and dancing. It's a good time. It's funny. It seems authentic. He threw out a stat in the last episode saying something like
300% more black people watching TV.
That's it. There you go. And yeah, when I first saw the show, it did shock me the amount of like black people that actually came out to the audience, because you don't see that on TV often.
Yeah.
And it's on Channel 4, and it's not like a little program. It's not like some
Vice.
Channel 5, 6, 7 or whatever, all the way down. Yeah, it's a prime channel.
Yeah, I think it's also, I was saying it's good for the culture to be seeing that.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't seem forced or anything. It seems it's quite natural and like true to who he is. Because like if you watch him on the Grime Report, you know him for like Uncle Payne and stuff like that. If you know him in his music, he just chats a bag of rubbish or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you can tell that some of it is partly scripted, but it's obviously it's only like certain bits
Just to keep on topic.
Yeah, to keep on topic and to stay into then. You can tell when they don't have it because there's a lot more flow.
Yeah, there's a lot of improv, and he's quite candid and self-aware. Like even like the first episode, it's like, I don't know how to run a show, you know. And what I do know is that Mo takes over a lot of it, because it's co-hosted by Mo, Mo's a bit more professional when it comes to performance,
Mm.
so he steers it a lot better, and it does work quite well.
Wow. I'm. You know what? After this, I'm gonna actually watch it. When I have some free time. All the
Yeah,
viewers
definitely
out-
watch it. Definitely watch it. Episode 2 features Tandy Newton.
Yeah, Tandy Newton from Westworld and the
Jeez.
other random stuff. And you get Craig David on as his music guest.
Yeah, I was also there.
But yeah, give it a watch. Episode 1 and 2, I'm sure you can catch up somewhere. It's on Friday nights at 11:05, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's definitely funny. 100%. 100% would watch. I would definitely watch it on TV to give him the numbers.
Yeah, or record it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, no, genuinely, good. It's a good show.
Big Nasty, doing good, doing big. I really tried to come out a stupid joke, but
Now, speaking of big, we got a big man coming on next on the topic.
Oh, yes.
Terry Crews, the biggest man of Hollywood. Well, actually, no, probably not, because I think the whole.
Yeah,
the
go on,
Rock
Pete.
could
Say what
probably
you were
eat
saying
it.
about Terry.
Crackdown Free's very own.
hey, Crackdown Cruise, very own. I like.
Leave Crackdown alone. It's gonna be lit.
He's been.
I mean, I don't know. We'll never find out.
Exactly.
he's been fight. He's not been fighting. Sorry, he's been fighting for. He's been fighting. What's the correct phrase for it? Anyway, point being is
He's been speaking out.
He's been speaking out about the sexual assault case that he had. I believe it was in 2017. It was a while ago. Essentially, somebody. Who was the person that was all
What's the name? Wilstein?
Harvey
Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
right?
I don't think it was him. Oh wait,
Yeah, it was.
what? He was the one who did it to Terry Crews.
Yeah.
So
Are you sure?
I believe so. Or he was some.
Yeah, no, it was like Terry Crews was like, yeah, this is the guy who tried to come a bum hole.
so before Big decides to tell the false lies, the false lies. Terry Crews basically got sexually assaulted. A guy grabbed Terry Crews' man pass, right?
Grabbed in front of his wife.
Right, in front of his wife. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. In front of his wife, and Terry Crews didn't respond how I believe maybe 70% of the world probably would have responded, which would have been like, "Yo, hold this fist," right? You know, he didn't punch him or whatever. He just backed off and was like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
You
right?
know what? Sorry, just to interject. I think actually a lot of the world would actually have responded by not responding.
No, I think
Wait, what?
I think if somebody grabbed me randomly, the first violence is the first.
Are we talking about it if it's specifically a dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if it's a woman too, I'll be like, "What are you doing?" Push them off me. Look off me, bitch. I don't know who you is. Get off me, damn.
Get off.
No, but yeah. So somebody basically fondled him, and he's been recently coming out and speaking about it quite a lot. He's actually been. I think a short clip, about 12 minutes, was showing him exposing Hollywood. Basically saying that like in Hollywood, this type of things happen all the time. It's like a culture thing for them. They don't see nothing wrong with it. The whole sexual assault thing between both men and women. It just seems like
how much do you really want this role?
Yeah, no, seriously. He talks about that, and he basically he's using the Me Too movement to empower his voice. If anybody doesn't know what the Me Too movement is, it's essentially a way of having your voice heard for any sexual harassment that has happened to you. I don't think there's even doesn't matter how long ago it was. Actually, I don't think there's actually a date on how long ago it was.
Right. So with the Me Too thing, I think with the Hollywood stuff, I think it was a different thing. I think it's the Time's Up thing. The Me Too thing, I think, was specifically for women, in just general life, like catcalling, sexual assault, sexual harassment, stuff like that. With the Hollywood stuff, like the Terry thing, I think that's attached to the Time's Up stuff.
Because he actually mentions the Me Too thing, and the reason for the reason why what he says in it, he's basically saying like I said, this naturally happens, but a lot of men don't speak out about it, and I think because of that he references the Me Too thing. I don't think he's not necessarily, he does seem like he's part. He just seems like he does want to help that movement too. And anyway, he's basically taken upon himself to kind of be some sort of a spokesperson for it. The whole situation of, this is Hollywood, this is how they get down. And there's plenty of people that have been sexually assaulted. And he even says that although he's not actually sexually assaulted anybody, he has witnessed it happening and not done anything about it. And he said, he basically talks about his wife and how his wife taught him control. He was saying that if it wasn't for his wife, he would have probably punched the man. Attacked the man. Whatever.
Probably would have killed him.
Eating him.
Right? And he said that his wife basically trained him and taught him to not explode on those type of things. You know what I mean? And he was saying I read the comments. By the way, if there's anything ever serious on YouTube, the one thing you don't do is read the comments. I read the comments, right? Like a fool, like an idiot. And he at one point he talks about, because who is it, the jury? Is that not jury? Who's the person with the main person with the little mallet thing? For what they call?
The judge.
The judge. That's it. Thank you.
Oh my god.
The judge. I don't know why I kept to think of the jury.
The mallet thing. I was like, what the?
Where are we? No,
what is it actually called? I think it's like
a gavel.
A gavel. There we go. There you go. Basically,
what are you talking about?
Oh my gosh,
you're way behind more than me.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Let's move on. It was a dumb thing.
Just carry on.
So anyway, the thing is, right? The judge asked him, "Well, why didn't you react? Like, why didn't you?"
Yeah, I saw that. She was saying, "Why didn't your considerable strength?"
Yeah,
to retaliate.
That was basically his response. That to me is kind of that's a stupid question. Like, to me,
especially because it's somebody who's got so much power in Hollywood. Like, he definitely has. He probably has a team of people to be all to cover shit up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And he basically said, what did he say? He goes, "Judge, growing up as an African American, whatever, there's only so much opportunity you get given." I think he goes into talking about basically the way he would, if he was to react that way, he would have lost that opportunity, blah, 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 blah. And being black, it would have scared something else. So anyway, I went to the comment section like a twat, and everybody was just ranting and raving about the race card that he pulled. But the main thing is, you know how you always hear those stories about Hollywood being dodgy and weird and dirty and that type of stuff? To have somebody inside it come out and talk about it is definitely eye-opening. So I do urge anybody who's listening, you guys included if you haven't already, to give it a watch. It's not very long. I think Terry Crews does it in a perfect way where he speaks very calm, eloquent, like he speaks proper. You know what I mean? Like, it's not no attitude and whatever. So it's like he really is he really is taking on the mantle of being this person that also wants to help too. You know what I mean? And because of his...
And also, it's also spreading a really positive message of, if this stuff happens and you are a guy, it is okay to be upset about.
You know what I mean, right? And he also...
Yeah, the quote-unquote manliest guy that you can look at.
Right? And, it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me because when I saw it, I was like... When I listened to it, because I sat down and properly listened to it, I was like, yo, that's insane to me. Terry, you a big dude. you're a big dude, man, and kudos to you, man, for not reacting how, like I said, 80-70% of the population probably would have reacted.
Yeah, you could have crumpled him up and chucked him like a frisbee.
That's the reality of the situation. But I was thinking even that situation, you're stuck, man, because you're there in an event where there's other people there too, and they're probably all going to cover it up. So, or put a bad name on you if you do react in a way that isn't through the legal system. You know what I mean? And I think he definitely went ahead and done the right approach, basically. I don't have any questions for you on this topic. It's more just me stating it. I want to move on to the next topic because I know we are starting to run short on time.
Indeed.
TanaCon. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. TANA-con.
Or TanaCon.
TanaCon, right? It's a YouTuber. So not TanaCon. Tana something. She's a YouTuber basically, and she was unable to get a booth at VidCon. So what she decided to do is host her own version of VidCon, which she then called TanaCon. And with that, she hired and invited a bunch of people to the venue. And it was gonna work just like VidCon. You know, YouTube is there and there's a few games and whatever. You do whatever. It's like an event. And what she had ended up doing was she was told that the venue and accommodation would only safely hold 1,000 people. She invited, I think the number came to 4,000 or 4,000.
Oh my days.
So these people,
anything that happens to her, she deserves it. The topic done.
So she rolls up. Also, all the people roll up, and she's charging them $60 a pop. So you're making bank off that. I'm not gonna do the math, but you're making bank off that.
Hey, no, I rate this woman, fam. She was like, "What? You don't want to invite me? Banya.
I can do it myself."
I mean, I understand that, but I mean, if somewhere's supposed to safely hold 1,000, and you decide to invite 300 more percent of that,
she's like these fucking airlines that own seats just so they can cancel them on the day.
Yeah, assholes. But look, it goes further. The 1,000 safety rule regulation that they had, health and safety regulation, was supposed to have 100 security guards accommodate it. Obviously, if it's 5,000, she would need more security guards than that. But she couldn't even reach the 100 security guards she was supposed to have at the venue. She only ended up having 26, or I think it was 30.
Everything in this is just off key.
For the 5,000 people, that's insane to me.
Wait, 5,000? I thought it was 4. Oh my god!
It was like 4,000 or 5,000 people. Basically, let's just say 4,000.
Too many, innit?
Too many. Right, over this health and safety, and a lot over the health and safety. What ended up having was people were ending up passing out, fainting, because obviously some people there, it's heat, whatever. And she's now facing some sort of legal charges. I think he might even get sent to prison. Because essentially she just decided to do whatever she wants and took no responsibility for the safety of anybody, even though it's your event, it's your venue. Like, that to me is ridiculous. Like I said, I got no questions for this either, but my main thing is the second you open up something and you set it as, yes, this is my event, you're responsible to
Yeah, no, she tried to oversell.
What could they charge her for? I
can't. Let me try and find it. Let me try and find the exact.
Would it be negligence?
Maybe.
Negligence, maybe.
Let me try and find it. Give me a second.
I'm already reading the story on it now.
Yeah, it's
So her full name is Tana Mongiu. She's 20 years old. She mad.
Tana Mongi.
TanaCon was a poorly executed mess that left fans stranded under the Southern California sun, dead, without food or water, and that got cancelled after
you told them not to bring food or water.
Capacity for attendees
that's not
the conference venue. The idea for TanaCon was spawned a couple of months ago. Posted a video complaining that she didn't receive a featured crew. Oh, so she's basically just like, oh, she should have been featured. I'm like, wait, hold on. How many things does she...
That was the reason why. That was the reason why she was supposed to get. That's the reason why she made her own thing.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. She's got what? She's got 3.6 mil, but I don't think that's a case of.
So anyway, Shane Dawson, he's Shane Dawson, sorry. He's another YouTuber, like a vlogging kind of, like a skit kind of guy. He's pretty popular. He talked about it. PewDiePie talked about it. I don't know if Keemstar has yet to get on it, but I'm pretty sure he would, because he's that drama guy. Welcome to the news. He's that dude, so he'll probably talk about it. I know a lot of YouTubers are basically just hashing out their thoughts on it, and main thing is, if you're gonna do something, do it properly. Like, don't be well, fuck this VidCon, so I'm just gonna do it myself because I'm bigger, better. Like, do it properly. Like, people's lives are at stake, yeah. So, I mean, get your finger out your ass.
Were they really? Were people's lives really at stake?
Well, maybe not at stake. Maybe not. But then again, they're saying that people fainted, bro. People fainted, bro.
Yeah,
Man.
fainted.
I don't.
So apparently the VIP ticket was the VIP passes were $65, plus an extra $12 in taxes and fees, and it's supposed to allow buyers to skip to the front of the lines. When people got there, the VIP holders were in the same queue as the free ticket holders.
You see, when everyone is special, no one is special.
Everybody gets treated the same.
It's just
so mad.
Yeah, so that's it. If you're gonna do something, do it proper.
No, but I rate the idea though. Like, what? So you don't want to feature me? Alright, calm.
Yeah, but like, you're not that though. You know what I mean? Like, you're not there yet. Okay, so just.
Hey, she got 5,000 people to come.
That's true.
That's a pretty good feat.
That is true. That is true. So moving on to the last.
That is so mad.
And that's just for her.
Yeah. Moving on to the last topic. Just so you know, people, anyone listening, the Powered Up crew will never ever be hosting an event where there's no food and water. Okay, all right.
A lie gonna get fed.
A lie.
You know?
A lie. You think
Trust
I'm gonna
me,
be
I'll
there?
dash water at you, man, just in case you just seem hydrated. You just look at you. If you look scrawny, you look dehydrated, I'm gonna throw a water bottle at you.
My family are, from Jamaica, okay? we eat good.
Trust me,
our
our families can come together. I just handing out roti and curry. Oh my gosh, I'd be in the line, bro. Hey, our events would be so wavy.
All right,
Watch we run over. Actually, no, later on.
Trust me, PowerCon. Oh my, see, look, that even sounds
Done. Hey, you hear it here first.
You heard it first. Oh, let me just double check. There's no PowerCon already.
this guy.
Yeah, fucking Ghost and Tommy show up.
Oh my days, there is not a PowerCon. Oh my days, there's something called an electrical connector, but that does not matter. PowerCon is official.
Connector.
It is official.
Oh,
PowerCon. Oh my gosh, coming to a city near you. We're going on tour in 2019.
No, not city near you. You don't have to come to us, bruv. Why are we traveling?
Mad. Oh yeah, like we're broke.
Here you go.
Oh my days, come. Trust me, like 500 of you lucky viewers.
Jeez. So yeah, enough slandering her. She's probably getting on Twitter still to this day.
Good.
Last major topic: Drake and his new Link Up TV music video.
I don't even really like Drake. He's a waste man. That thing was dead, bruv.
The thing is, yeah, I don't know what it was, but it felt like he was trying to do some drill.
He was.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know what it was? Maybe it was his cadence, slang, and the beat, and the fact he's on Link Up TV.
Dead, I'm not even gonna try and front. I'm not even gonna try and lie.
But it got
He
2
was
million
on some
2 million
guacamole
views
flex.
in in 8 hours.
I don't
bro.
care. It's just, people are thinking just because it's Drake. People literally, fam. People are riding him hard just because it's Drake.
Fam, I still haven't heard a reply to Pusha T.
Ah,
I'm upset.
just that was the reply.
I watched it, and the immediate thought was top beg, bruv.
Yeah,
Trust
seriously.
me, he needs to leave us man alone. Like, don't get like. I don't think you understand. People who actually are down for grime or whatever, because there are people who are new, who are really, really, really new to grime and only just getting into it. Like, some people who are into grime don't know about Murky Ace. Hold tight, Murky Ace, fam. Give me an instrumental, regardless.
It's not even just a grime thing. It's just the UK thing. They're trying to ride it for the longest.
I don't know why he's coming so hard.
Like, the first line is something like, "You already know how the pagan chit chat go." You have never said that in your fucking life. What are you talking about?
A lie? You are one of the pagans with the chit chat though.
I listened to it 3 times.
Bruv.
Bro, I listened to it 3 times in a row to try and catch a vibe. To at least try. I thought, let me at least give him.
I'm surprised he didn't catch a case of suicide, bro.
No, jeez. no.
3 times in a row.
So
You already know how the pig and chit chat go, innit?
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy though? Like,
Go on, tell me.
you know what's crazy though? It's like I actually don't remember a line. You know when something is so dead that you just don't remember. Well, sorry, you don't like something that much that you just don't remember even what's going on.
There's things that are dead that I like in it, but this was just dead.
Like it just this made me concentrate listening to Little Pump. Like that's how bad it was.
What's why you blanked out.
Concentrate listening to what?
To listening to Little Pump. That's how bad it was. I was like, yo, I'm making that conversion. That's what's going down. No, it was Drake. Look, thank you for trying. All right,
No. Don't thank him nothing, bruv.
Look, regardless of what it was, it could have been a song. Why are you here?
Lie.
Why are you here?
Away
on our channels, still trying to beg it with us, man. I know a lot of them accepted. Skepta, Cryptocurrency, the Storms, all of them. They all accepted.
Skepta's a nitty though.
Do not care.
Nitty,
go away.
Nothing
that you do.
Is Skepta a nitty?
No, Skepta's a full-time nitty now, bruv. Have you not seen his fucking?
It's not, man.
Bruv.
You
need to stop. He's a full-time nitty.
He's not.
Like my
Bruv,
sources
we
are
know
streams.
nitties. We know nitties who have been with him while he's been nittied out.
You already know how the nick go.
You already know how the nick.
Well, what nitties are you talking about?
Her name is it rhymes with snow. Not snow. Wait,
swear down. Swear down.
Rhymes with.
No, I know who you're talking about. But I'm saying, swear down. Like, did she actually confirm this, or was she just chatting shit, or are you just man chatting shit?
No, I believe her. Like the guy goes to the same place as she goes. And I've seen him on her Snapchat.
There you go.
Big is having a crisis right now. The son, like, raw. He's a nitty.
And that's why I think he broke up.
Bruv, have you not seen him? Just how he's been moving.
He's been moving.
Bruv.
Bookie, fam.
Oh my god. Just all of it.
He's a bit much right now.
Go watch that Look Alive video again with him and Suspect and tell me he's not me.
Fam, but he's
gained weight, a lot of weight.
Hold on.
I know he lost
about someone snorting his Charlie.
Nah, he's still skinny, bro.
Naomi Campbell. He gained a lot of weight.
Nah, he's still.
No. Here's the thing, yeah. You see Gigs. You know when he was talking about who snorted my Charlie, bruv. He was talking about Skepta.
I think he was talking about your friend, fam.
Who? Oh my gosh! Let's talk about both of them.
Fuck it, I don't care. Nicole, you're talking about
wow!
Oh my gosh! You know what?
Nicole, who's that?
Oh my days!
Pull the plug!
Podcast done. We out here. Remember PowellCon 2019. I know we're finished. We're finished.
No, does anybody want to say anything else? Because I want to finish with one last point. I want to finish with one last point. If anyone else is done.
Yeah, go for it.
The last point is it's coming home.
Oh my god!
It's coming home. It's coming home. Tell the world it's coming home.
This guy remixed it.
The pain of yesterday.
No, but Power Up viewers, thank you very much for being with us one more Sunday for about 2 hours plus. It's always fun. We'll be back next Sunday with more gaming and entertainment news. If you haven't already, subscribe to these guys, Big Imperial, Shumo, and Sleepless Elite.
Don't forget to subscribe to PGG also. Don't forget that.
PowellGuyGaming, aka Still Girl on Good to Know, aka.
Wait, what did you say?
AKA, I'll put a Quaalude in a bitch's drink.
Mad. Well,
AKA Bill Cosby's apprentice. AKA.
AKA Bill Cosby.
AKA. Fuck that bitch. I'm not trying to rape you. Your buzz.
Oh my goodness, man.
AKA, she got some dirty backmore.
What?
Wait, hold on. Who are you talking about? Because to me, you're talking about someone else entirely.
You know what I mean? Alright, people. Thanks for watching. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your days.
And like I was saying, For real though, PowerCon 2019.
This guy,
Gonna
man.
be lit like.
Man, I'm stopping it.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
stopping the
don't,
recording.
okay, not 2019,
What?
but PowerCon it will
2019.
be coming soon.
2019. Who is paying for this?
Man, I'm stopping the recording. Get out of here.